Like, how long was it sitting out here waiting?
Yes, when you said 15 minutes,
You went, time to go.
I ran downstairs and grabbed it and carried it up. But it is now melting. Oops. And now there is a butterfly grasshopper. What is that?
Oh my God.
What is that? It's green. What's happening?
It's literally neon.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's Mothman. He's come to say hello. I hired him for an hour for your birthday, actually.
Happy birthday.
This is him stripping. I can take him in if I want to.
Oh, here goes Gio. He's going to try and eat it.
If you want me to handle it, I am going to kill it, and I know you don't want me to kill bugs. But it's murder or nothing. So, your call. Your call.
Welcome to our birthday episode. This is a special...
Are we recording?
Yes. The only problem is this cake is melting.
Yeah. I want to eat it. Should we freeze it now, or should we eat... I think it should be our reward. Okay, my little demon. That's what I call you usually. Why would you eat off his tushy like that?
I'm sorry.
You just ate some demon ass on your birthday, you freak.
And what of it? Are you shaming me?
No, I'm proud of you. Someone's got to do it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We should probably just put it in the freezer, huh?
Look, even the letters are sad. They're like, either you're going to do this or you're not going to do it.
Okay. I'm going to go put it in the freezer.
You put it in the freezer. I'm going to monitor this bug. Okay. This is out of control.
I know you're going to kill it while I'm gone.
I won't kill it. If it stays over there, we're good. Okay. As long as it stays there, we're in the clear, I think.
Okay.
I do feel unsafe, but...
Let the record show, Em does feel extremely uncomfortable.
I don't enjoy my time. Even Gio's watching it.
At one point, Gio's just going to snap, and it'll be quiet, and we'll know he's won.
When the silence has happened.
Hopefully people can't hear the buzzing.
I was telling you, it sounds like literally someone's phone is on vibrate on the other side of the room. And every time it hits the wall, it sounds like a marble hit the wall. It's so stupid loud. Okay. Anyway, hi. Happy birthday, Christine.
Happy birthday. I'm going to get a little hat, too. This is the birthday episode. It's very chaotic. Em is with me. Obviously, we're in the same room. It would be wild if we weren't.
Imagine if we just CGI'd me in here because we got that good at it in our 30s.
Or we both had weird green bugs in our room. And
I was like, I'm leaving my home. You better not have one at your place. I'm coming over.
Let me get my hat. Okay, here's what happened.
What happened?
Em and I were supposed to... I'm just catching everyone up.
Oh.
Em and I were supposed... This is not going to fit on my head.
It's because you've got something on your head already.
Okay.
My head's bigger than yours and it worked. So I don't know what's
going on here, folks.
I think it's because you already have a thing on your head.
Probably.
It doesn't want to share the space of that. That's prime real estate there, that noggin. Ew. It doesn't look right.
Okay, forget it.
Okay, it didn't happen.
I'll wear my trashy, classy headband.
You did make my cheeks feel very skinny there, just so we're clear.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we were supposed to... so our birthday is next weekend. We were supposed to record a birthday episode. We were like, let's do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then...
we have book signings tomorrow.
Book signings. And we got... Em was flying in today, and I was like, oh, let's just record the episode tonight then, after you land. So it's like 10 o'clock here. And
if you recall the episode where Christine fell asleep as I told the story, this is probably going to be part 2 to that.
Part 2.
This is probably just us bringing in this our new generation or our new era. All sleepy.
And so yeah, I was like, shit, I got to run to Target. So I bought some decor.
You can't see it because it's behind the camera,
right?
But Christine really fucking nailed it, especially considering I was expecting nothing. So there are presents and snacks, and there is a dinosaur balloon who I love. I've already gotten attached, and there's a banner. It says "Happy Birthday." It's so classy and she with its monochromatic flair.
Wow!
And there's a rose gold inflatable, like 3 foot tall 30. Mm-hmm. So I've got like the 3 and the O, which everyone usually does like Instagram pics with. So I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it'll be definitely as glam as all those Instagram pics you see.
Certainly as chuggy as the kids might want. And then Christine had a whole cake and my favorite little demon buddy.
Right.
I love him. Okay, so Eva and I a while ago, we surprised Christine and we flew to Kentucky and threw her a spooky baby shower, obviously before Leona was born.
Surprised me, like I didn't know they were in my home.
Yeah, we set it up with Blaise.
It was chaotic.
And we showed up while she was gone. Oh, and Zandy was in on it, which is how you weren't here. And one of the things so when Eva and I landed, we were like, we're going to go to like a party city and get a bunch of spooky stuff and then bring it to the house and decorate and like surprise her. There was this one thing that I got there. And it was like this, I don't even know what you'd call it, but it's a random latex demon.
So creepy.
I don't know what he's meant for, but I put him on top of a cake.
Yeah, what is he meant for?
I don't know what he's meant for.
He even has like a clip inside him.
I don't know what's going on.
He has like a binder clip inside him.
He came like that.
He is so frightening.
But when he's sitting on top of a cake, it looks like he's leaning over to be like, hiya, pal.
You know what it says inside it? You're not going to believe it. It says ghoulish.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Ghoulish.
I love him. I think he's so sweet and his eyes don't match and his little tushy is so plump. They made a perfect little demon tush out of rubber and his little legs flail.
So Em put this on the cake for my baby shower and then looked at me and said, I want that. And I was like,
this is for you, but it's for me.
Yeah, I was like, you can have it. And you were like, no, I want it on my cake for my birthday. And this was, again, like over 6 months. It was like 8 months ago. And so I have kept it in pristine condition inside a cabinet in my kitchen, despite Blaise's attempts to throw it away.
So every time you open that cabinet, he would just say,
freaking time.
Hi, pal.
Yep. And he would say, hi, pal.
He doesn't sound like that. Don't demonize him.
I'm so sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
And his little tush was always staring back at me.
That little tush, I'm telling you what, it's one of my top 3 favorite tushes.
So today I got him out. And there is a great picture of us holding him from my baby shower. So we can post that on Instagram.
Oh, that's fun. I actually just found a picture from your baby shower that I really like of us that I might be posting later.
Oh.
But, I love him so much. And the cake, by the way, every cake we've ever had together, because obviously Christine turns a year older than me, so we don't know what candles.
As you can tell by my wizened features.
All of your wrinkles. But if you've seen any of the cakes we've ever posted that we give each other, there's always, we don't know what to do candle number wise. Right. And so the first time I was turning 25 and you were turning 26.
256.
So we put 256. So if you hid one of them, it looked like 25. And if you hid one, it looked like 26.
So for a photo op, you could just kind of cover one or the other.
Yeah. So it said 256. Then it said 267, 278, 289.
Jesus, that's a lot.
And then last year was the hard one because it was 29 and 30.
Oh, so we probably didn't even do it.
We didn't do it
because it was COVID.
Because I was scared. But now we're back. We can share
bullshit.
We can share the first digit now, and now on the little demon cake. Christine had 301, 30 and 31. So.
And you were like, "What am I, 301?" And I was like, "Well, I wish, but
I feel like it." So anyway, thank you. You really made my day. I really thought I was just going to get off the plane.
Well, I felt so bad. You were on a flight. You were like, "I leave at 8:30 in the morning," and I was like, "I thought you land at 8:30 p.m." And you were like, "I do. It's a
both.
5-hour layover."
It's both. I take one at 8:30 and I land at 8:30. But anyway, it was a long day.
Well, and we're book signing this week, so it was like we have 2 book signings that are already a lot and taking up a lot of mental space, and so we just kind of had to squeeze in. And I was so sad I couldn't come to LA for your B-Day. So,
I will say there was you got invited apparently to my mom's other birthday party for me, so you have 2 opportunities and you're saying no to both.
It's Father's Day.
I know.
I didn't even realize it was Father's Day, and then I think you said it. You were like, "Oh, it's Father's Day that week," and I was like, "Fuck."
Well, yeah,
because Blaise made Mother's Day so special.
I know.
And
I'm not mad.
Like, I can't just. He said I could go, and I was like, maybe I'll fly in. I don't know.
It's the same thing. So one of the things, Allison's birthday this year. She's already told me I can go, but I already feel guilty about it, and I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But I was asked to be a +1 to a wedding in literally Italy.
What?
And so I was like, and it's on Allison's birthday, and Allison wouldn't be the +1. And I was like,
Timothy, go.
Yeah?
I'll hang out with Allison.
Okay.
And we'll just be bitter that you're in Italy.
Okay, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I've never really left the country on my own. Like, we've gone to Canada, but, like, I've, like...
Yeah.
Not to say Canada like that, but I've never, like...
Gone overseas.
Yeah. It really freaks me out. It's like out of my comfort zone. And I would be with friends that are reckless. So...
Whoa!
I'm scared in advance. So, anyway... I don't know how we get back on track, but I guess it's our birthday episode, so who cares?
We can do what we want. I'm drinking box wine.
I'm drinking, Christine got me white grape juice, which I love. And also it reminds me of the sparkling juice that people get to celebrate.
Love that. Should have got some of that. Actually, I have some of that in the fridge, but I'm not going back downstairs.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
Christine literally tried to surprise me like seeing all the birthday stuff in here for the first time, and she started filming right after I took like 4 flights of stairs.
I felt so bad.
I was just like, oh my God.
I did not plan for that. And you were like bent over. You were like, this is not how I want to be reacting. I promise I'm excited. And I was like, oh,
I was very excited. I
just
also
you.
couldn't breathe.
And then you said, oh, what am I, 301? And I was like, maybe.
I certainly walk upstairs like I'm 301. Okay, well, Christine, do you have any guesstimates for what's happening for your birthday?
Oh, I don't know, because it's on a Saturday, and Blaise, so my friend Ray, who was also my doula, wrote a poetry book, and she's a poet, and I was like, whoa, cool, I'm friends with a poet. That made me feel really like fancy. And
she gonna write a poem for you?
She better.
There's a poetry slam for Christine only.
Okay, but let me shout out her poetry book, because it has a skull on the front, which we love.
Done.
And it's called American Bitch, and I know, and it's a lot of poetry about being Jewish in America. Ooh. And it's really excellent. She hand dropped off my copy. I felt very loved. And she's doing
Did you do a book swap? Did you sign each other's books?
I didn't even give her a book. She probably doesn't want one. She's like,
you know what you are then? An American bitch.
I know. That's why the book is about me. All these poems. But she was like, oh, I'm doing this like poetry reading and like a little, kind of like how we're doing our book signing tomorrow. She's doing one on my birthday. And I was like, oh, I want to come. It's my birthday, though, so I don't know if I have anything planned that day, but I'm trying to go. But then Blaise was like, well, you have plans at 11 and 2. And like
11 through 2?
No, like 11 and then again at 2.
Oh,
and I was
so
like,
is 12 free?
I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out. And he's not good at secrets, so I don't want to ask too many questions, because I feel like he'll be like, well, it's this, this, and this. And then I'll be like, well, what was the point of this?
Allison's been doing a very good job keeping us. I can tell that she's itching to tell me.
In pain.
She's in pain. But she's doing good.
Yeah, Blaise is too, and I don't know what the hell he has planned.
Do you know what my thing is that Allison's doing?
Maybe.
Do you?
I do.
Am I going to love it? I think I'm going to love it.
I think you're going to love it. Yes, of course you're going to love it. What am I going to say? No.
Well, okay, that's fair. Like, when the camera's off, though?
No, you're going to love it. Of course you're going to love it.
The way that she's been talking about it makes me feel like I'll love it.
You're going to love it. I actually don't know that many details, because, again, I unfortunately had to write a book and couldn't make it, so I'm very bitter about that.
Oh well.
So I didn't get any of the.
This is it. This is like
the party.
The beginning of it all.
This is the beginning and the end.
Is there anything you want for your birthday that you're going to treat yourself to?
Oh, as you know about me, I'm one of those people where I can convince myself to buy myself anything in about 2 minutes flat. So I don't really have a lot of like patience to tell myself, oh, I'll treat myself later. I will always find a reason to do it right now. So there's nothing off for the top of my head where I'm like, that's a great question. Do you have anything?
All the time. But because I live on a reward system.
Right.
Like otherwise I won't do anything. So I have to give myself rewards or else it won't be worth it for me. And like writing that whole book, oh my God, every chapter I was like, okay, do this and then you can eat some cake. And
wow.
I ate a lot of cake.
Well, Em wrote a whole book that way. So if you're wondering, I guess that works.
It worked.
For me, I was like, I am 8 months pregnant, and if I don't finish this book,
this cake.
Your punishment will be writing this book with a newborn child. And I was like, that fear is enough.
See?
So you do fear or reward.
Sometimes the reward is not being afraid anymore.
You know what? Is abolishing that fear. Okay, I get it.
So my current thing, well, I haven't given an update, and I know it's been like months for everybody, but there's like a whole thing I need to complain about that I can't totally complain about. Well, I can. I haven't given any updates about the troll hole.
Yeah, I love the troll hole.
And I'm aware that I haven't been talking about it, and people are probably, one person out there, me, is probably like itching to see what it's going to look like. But here's the thing. I've been waiting for this stupid couch to show up.
Oh, no. And
this is now currently the second couch we've had to fight for. I've been waiting literally since March or April now to get a couch in there. And it's basically, I want it to be a fold out, but like an actual really good fold out, because the people who are probably visiting us the most are our parents with like not great backs. And so it needs to be a very specific quality couch. But the way to get it into that room, they're all sized weird, and we have a weird hallway. So the first couch that we got, people were like, they literally brought the couch, and then they just looked at our hallway, and they were like, we're not even going to try.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And so then I was like, can you tell me the measurements so when I go get another couch, I don't run into this again? It's next to us now, the bug.
It's here. Look how green it is.
I really don't want to.
Don't you feel special that it visited us today?
What a way to spin that narrative.
I'm nothing if not.
Yes, I feel so lucky. Anyway, the couch, I'm still waiting on the second couch, but I have a feeling the second couch I'm going to deal with the same goddamn thing. So I am not showing you the troll hole until the couch is there, because then I can set up everything around the couch, but it's still like kind of barren.
It's the center.
Anyway, my birthday gift to myself is this troll hole whenever it happens.
I can't wait to see the troll hole.
Me too.
Someday.
Far, far away.
Far, far away.
I now, honestly...
There's nothing else I can think of. My brain can't function anymore with this buzzing.
It sounds like glue came to life.
What does that mean?
It's like sticky.
Ew, it does, doesn't it? It sounds
feels like a Post-it note is tearing off of itself.
Oh my god, you're right. Gio, don't leave. I thought he was leaving. I was like,
like he's gonna save the day.
You have a job to do. He will get it. Look, he's focused.
I can't think about anything else.
I'm sweating. I'm
also sweating.
Frazzled by this.
Where did it go? Oh, it's there.
It's right above my head.
So at my home, we have this thing that's it's like a gun. It's like a salt gun.
Oh, I know about
with
these.
the laser sighting and everything.
So awful.
But you know what? I don't have to live in fear.
I read reviews of those on Beach Too Sandy one time. The assault.
And yeah, I don't love the name, the assault rifle.
It's kind of disturbing.
in today's age, it's not.
I used to have a bug vacuum where you would.
Okay, that's much worse.
No, it's not, because you would suck him in, and then you take him outside.
Take the little dustbuster and do reverse button and release him.
Goes outside.
Okay, I guess it's still definitely traumatic, probably, for the bug. But
well, okay, it's not an assault rifle you're trying to shoot it with.
I will say that thing came in handy with the cockroaches.
Yeah, okay.
Happily, I'm sorry if I'm okay with killing cockroaches.
Yeah, I'm not really that concerned about the cockroaches as much as I am about this beautiful green friend we have.
He's so beautiful. I want to never be near him.
If he comes anywhere near me, I'm going to scream bloody murder.
He's literally so close. We're going to edit some of this out, but I
think we should leave all of it in.
If people want to know what we're like outside of the podcast, usually we just are in fear of something. Today it's of the bug.
Of most things. We usually find a reason to complain and be afraid. Well, anyway, I've lost all sort of train of thought I may have had before, so I apologize. Oh, sorry. I smacked you.
Whatever.
I'm not used to being in the same room as you anymore.
I know. I guess we talk about scary things,
the bad stuff.
Besides our biological clocks slowly fading into the abyss.
Our skin crinkling away.
I woke up today and it did feel a little less elastic, so I was feeling
nervous. Yeah.
Okay. My notes today are on my literal notes app on my phone. So
I was gonna do that, and then I was like, "Is that gonna look unprofessional?" So I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, I don't know if it looks professional or not, but I certainly did literally my notes on the plane. So this was
amazing.
Honestly, I'm impressed with myself. I'm
impressed with you.
I did all of our notes in 2 hours on my phone.
On your phone?
Without internet.
Okay, is this seems like...
That was the most... Are you going to want to know why? Because I had a reward coming at the end.
This seems like we're supposed to be
my little demon.
Impressed, but you're... Hello. Oh, you mean the one with the butt. I think we're supposed to be impressed by the way you're framing this, but also saying I did notes with no internet on my phone in 2 hours kind of doesn't sound like research. I don't know.
It doesn't. But you know what? I promise it is.
Okay.
Because so while we were sitting on the plane, I was getting all the links. And then that way, when I could do airplane mode, the links were already there.
Got it.
Just do a little swipe, swipe, swipe.
Okay.
So I did use internet, but not active internet.
Okay, I was going to say, this sounds like you just came out of your dumb little brain.
Oh, can I tell you what was supposed to come out of my dumb little brain?
What?
Oh, this story was going to be so much better. Not to totally fuck up my own notes right now.
You already gave us so much confidence, okay, in the story.
For your birthday, I was going to do a revisiting of America's Hershey Shifter.
Oh, dear Lord.
And I was going... Here, I'll prove it to you.
Was that on my last birthday?
That was your 30th. That was your present for your 30th birthday. Was those notes?
Wow.
And so, I wanted to do a revisiting and talk about how a whole year later, the Society of Cryptid Explorers or whatever bullshit I came up with, Society of Cryptid Exploration, they had discovered that, in fact, last time I reported on this, America's Hershey Shifter seemed that they might be giving birth to a new cryptid. And then I was going to report on the cryptid.
That's precious.
And I tried so hard. These were the things I was going to try to write about creatively, but I couldn't, under pressure, I couldn't figure it out. So I'm just going to tell you what my raw bullet notes look like.
This is even better.
So first of all, here were the names I was trying to come up with, because Leona Renee Lampunyale is kind of a crazy fucking name to redo. I am aware that lemon was a word in the name.
Oh, Jesus.
If you rearrange the letters.
I did not even think of it.
For those who are somehow sorely listening to this for the first time ever, America's Hercene Shifter is an anagram for Christine Maria Schieffer, which is the cryptid I was talking about in that episode.
Right in front of your very eyes.
And so I was trying to come up with an anagram for your kid's name, and apparently you only named your baby with all L's and E's, so
Correct.
It was really hard.
Wait, yeah, Renee has 3 E's in it.
Alone, yeah. And so at one point, here's what I ended up with, because I found the word gnome, and I was trying to think of another cryptid. So I was like, okay, she'll be a gnome.
That's cute.
And then at one point, I was trying to literally just do what I could with all these goddamn E's and N's. And so there were some extra letters left, so this one didn't work. But my personal favorite was I was going to name the cryptid Penne a la Gnome.
I'm Penne a la vodka.
Yeah.
And she's Penne a la gnome.
Yeah. Another one was, this was just, where was it? There was one that I really wanted to make work. It was, there was only like 5 letters left, and I was so upset. But Lunar Eel Gnome. I thought that would have sounded like a really cool cryptid.
Lunar is in there too?
Yeah, Lunar Eel Gnome.
Lunar Lemon. Wow.
Also,
gnome?
actually, if I was willing to sacrifice a bunch of letters, Lunar and Lemon both work. The Lunar Lemon.
Whoa.
Just saying. Anyway, I tried. And these were the things I was going to try to write about her. Besides the fact that, in the last few months, we have a new cryptid on our radar. That her fangs finally came in. She's teething currently.
She does. She has one little fang.
She's got one little fang.
That's so cute.
Unlike our predictions, because we originally had overheard from the SCE that America's Hercene Shifter's little offspring would be born with
full
fangs.
of them. Full of teeth.
All sharp little razors.
Full of fangs.
Also, I was going to mention that she had similar facial features to America's Hercene Shifter. I was going to mention that it's known for its loud wailing and cackling in dark rooms. I didn't know how I was going to insert this, but I know she loves to play chase right now, where someone runs up on her. I was going to talk about her best friend in the forest, because remember, the Hercene Shifter loves animals. I was going to talk about how she has also found her own friend in the woods named Crinkle Fox.
Crispy Fox.
Crispy Fox, fuck.
Close. Eat crinkles.
Crispy Fox sounds the same to me. Also, I was going to make Blaise comment on it, as I did for you.
Aww.
I was going to mention how she loves the ceiling.
She loves the ceiling.
I was going to talk about how, interestingly, this cryptid is named somewhere after Detective Eade, who had the smoking gun file.
You're completely right.
On America's Hercene Shifter. So I feel like almost she was part of the taxonomy naming of this creature.
Yes.
I was going to re-bring up the numerology episode and talk about our predictions for this cryptid. That she's a Libra, and also that her entrance into this world was announced by Zach Bagans.
Okay, that's when you knew it was all.
So there's like your half-ass birthday present from me, Christine.
Actually, that was so good, though.
I tried so hard,
no,
but there's
that was so good.
your Lunar Lemon Gnome.
That made me so happy. That was so my Lunar Lemon Gnome.
I tried. We'll try again on her birthday, maybe.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I loved it. And then we'll have more updates. She might have a few more fangs, so,
She better. If she just only shows up with one tooth, I will write about that in the dossier that is this cryptid. So
the dossier.
Okay. Instead, for your birthday, I tried. We did a topic that I know you enjoy, which is a poltergeist.
Oh,
story.
hell yes.
So this is in 1938, and this is the story of. Pause for the sound effect.
I'm listening. I'm not peeing. I promise.
This feels like back in the old days.
I know, we're just as hot in here because the AC is off. Hey, look who's trying to turn the AC on. There he is.
That was the loudest bug fart I've ever heard in my life.
He was trying to turn on the AC. I don't blame him. It's hot in here. Oh, also, I think we're going to do, for our Aftermath episode, for the Patreon folks, we're going to do the little Prezi opening.
Yes, definitely.
Gio, what are you doing? Get it.
Why?
There's another one.
I told you.
No, there's literally 2.
I literally told you. I told you.
There's 2 of these green monsters.
It literally flew out from there.
From where? Oh, shit. What? That's a closet. And what's happening?
2 of them.
What do we do? Okay, I'm going to leave the room and you handle it.
We both know how I'd handle it, and it wouldn't make you happy.
Just do it. I don't care. I'm
not going to do it on your wallpaper.
Blaise says, oh, I thought that came from outside, that scream.
Like a coyote.
He says, do you need me to get it?
Yeah. Ah! Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Please. I'm sorry. I know you have a sleeping baby.
I said, yes, help. So he's coming. Blaise.
Winds in the east.
Blaise, there are 2 of them now.
I'm glad you have 2 hands, Blaise.
Blaise, there's 2
They're
of them, and they keep
green.
flying at me.
That one and that one.
Why are they green?
Are they beetles?
What are they? What's a leaf bug?
Like, leave me alone?
Wait, that makes me sad. Don't kill it.
See,
You
this
gotta
is why
kill
I
it.
wasn't. This is why I didn't do anything.
There's another bug here. They're coming in through your air conditioning.
Oh no, not the air conditioning.
My best
How
friend
could
just
you
turned
forsake us?
It just turned into my nemesis. Is this the bonus footage after the episode? Remember when I gave you that doll to give to your baby?
Give it to my precious
Never
child.
once saw the light of day with that baby. Instead, it just kills bugs.
It's got green guts, too.
I didn't kill it.
I'm sad now.
Alright, I'll get that paper towel from up there.
Thank you, Blaise.
Oh, they're all inside of
I
it.
mean, they're dead. Alright.
Thank you, Blaise.
Sometimes I wish I lived in a house with more testosterone, because Allison and I would just absolutely leave. We would move.
You say that, and yet you didn't move.
That's because okay, it's a bloodbath at our place with cockroaches. But
Oh.
in terms of like peacefully letting, like, catch and release, forget it.
Yeah, well,
We'd leave.
Not with cockroaches. Not happening. Okay. Anyway, back to this.
If I see a third bug, Christine, I swear to God, I'm just going back to LA.
I'm moving with you. I'm moving with you to Burbank.
Okay, let's try this again. Alma Fielding and the Croyden poltergeist. This was in 1938, and it was right after a wave of spiritualism. And Thornton Heath is in a borough called Croyden. So Alma was born in 1903. She had a big sister and a little brother, and she always wanted to be an entertainer or a performer in some way, and her uncle was training her to become a circus performer.
Whoa.
But I guess she fell off her bike one time, and I don't know if that was during clown training or something, but
It was a 10-foot bike.
it was
on one of those.
a one-wheeled 10-foot
As a unicycle.
and it was on a tightrope.
Oh, right. We failed to mention it was
She was also juggling fire, so
40 feet above the ground.
but during that bike crash, I'm not totally sure what happened. She ended up sustaining long-lasting issues from her injury, and I think that was kind of the beginning of the end of her thinking she was going to join
That's sad.
the circus. She also grew up being known as very sickly.
Oh.
I don't know if that word's still used today, but she was apparently constantly ill. She had a chronic kidney illness.
Poor thing.
And by 1938, she apparently had several surgeries. I think many of them on her kidneys.
I'm not gonna lie, surgery in the nothing is scarier than surgery in the 1930s.
In 1938
Like,
specifically.
The thought of surgery now is terrifying, but the thought of surgery in the 1930s.
You know what's wild is, imagine what people in the future would say about surgery about us.
Do you know how often I think that? Because I think someday, like, in 30 years or 50 years, I wonder if we'll look back and be like, how barbaric was X, Y, or Z? Like, can you believe we did that without?
Yeah, I wonder too, because I feel like back before there was like anesthetic or,
Right.
or antibiotics or
Before
Novocaine
before they
or
knew to wash
Vicodin.
their hands, like
Yeah.
things like that.
Or just like it was just normal for you to just have to literally bite down on a stick and just tough it out and deal with the pain.
Like amputations and stuff.
I don't even know. I don't even know how.
Mm-mm.
I would just pass out from the pain and never come back. I'd be like, forget it.
This is enough. I'll leave. Goodbye.
Yeah, without any like numbing medication, like that had to have been the greatest invention of all time of that generation.
You know,
for sure.
people always say, like, I wonder why there are ghosts from the olden days, but not today. That's probably why, because they had to go through shit like that. If that happened to
like
me,
leeches on your eyes and shit.
you'd like leech,
What?
you'd chop my leg off without any sort of anesthetic. No wonder you're haunting a hospital. I'd be fucking haunting a hospital.
I don't even think I'd be meaning to. I would just, my energy would be so chaotic.
I'd just be screaming for the rest of time.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, then here you go. This poor girl had a bunch of surgeries on her kidneys at a time when I guarantee you she probably felt it afterwards.
Mm-mm-mm.
And
I can only hope they gave her like morphine and stuff like they did. Remember how like you see those old things and it's like codeine prescription and like, or like Coca-Cola had cocaine and like,
honestly, I hope she had a big pitcher of Coca-Cola afterwards.
Drug them up.
Give her whatever she wants. And she not only was a sickly child, but apparently she also had some spooky stuff going on as a child, which I think is interesting because there's that theory of like, and by theory, I mean like it's a storyline in a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. So someone's thought of it before that like ill children can see things almost as if there are spirits that are like kind of sucking the life out of them.
Oh, leeching. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I don't know if that plays into this at all, but it's just like a connection I thought of.
Yeah.
But so she claims that a lot of spooky things happened to her growing up. One is that she often reported seeing a long-faced man climb out of her wardrobe and stare at her at night.
Goodbye.
Like, also the wardrobe, like, not even, like, walk through the door.
Yeah.
Like, you had to make it extra weird.
Extra creepy, like, through your clothes. Ugh, gross.
Oh, through the clothes. Yeah, then that gives me the feeling of, like, I don't want to wear this shirt.
Yeah, how do you change in the morning?
Man touched it.
Yeah, he was climbing through this dress.
Get it. You know, he was maybe trying on the dress.
I was going to say, as long as he
and he was staring, like, at the foot of your bed, like, what do you think of this outfit?
Should I do a twirl? The long-faced man. He just wants to be fashionable.
Like he's probably like, please don't call me the long-faced man. Call me the stylish man.
Call me the fab guy. I don't know.
the fabulous ghoul. Anyway, so she was having things go on. That was just a quick example from when she was a kid. But in 1921, she ended up marrying a guy named Les, and apparently it was against her parents' wishes.
Uh-oh.
I would like to know more about that part of the story.
Me too.
I certainly would like to be in on the drama.
Yeah.
One of the reasons she did marry Les, despite her parents not liking it, is that she was secretly pregnant. And she had their son the next year. And his name was Don. And at this point in her life, she's still having weird experiences. So an example of that is in 1929, which when I say weird experience, I'm not going to label this supernatural just yet. And I think you'll pick up on the vibes I'm coming with.
Okay.
In 1929, she straight up lost her sight for no reason overnight.
Uh-oh.
But she claimed she could still see the world.
Uh-oh.
In a different way. And apparently she was so convinced that she could still see the world, just not with her eyes, maybe with her third eye or something, that she didn't even tell people that she was blind for weeks and nobody noticed.
Okay.
And the only reason someone picked up on it was because her husband noticed that when they were watching TV or a movie, she wasn't looking at the screen. Which, like,
oh no,
you could have just been looking at like tire shoe or something.
No, there was a bug in the ceiling.
Right, yeah, well, there's that. But so, yeah. So and then
what year was this?
This was 1929.
Was there a movie? Was there a TV?
Wizard of Oz? I don't know. A Western?
I guess they had TVs. I don't know. I'm bad at
the talkies. A silent film.
Sure. So you gotta watch.
You better,
because you can't listen.
That's
what the
true.
fuck is going on?
Yeah, I never really thought about how silent films are kind of ableist.
No, I guess so, huh?
I never even considered that.
And you think about it, so is a podcast or radio. Unless you got those transcriptions.
Aha. Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the talkies.
We're the talkies.
Yeah, we fed right into the system is what happened there.
Oh, I got excited. You were like, this is a problem.
Look, now I feel like I have to reevaluate everything. But so, yeah, so she just told someone like, oh yeah, weeks ago I went blind. But I've still been able to completely...
Oh, did I forget to mention it?
Yeah, but I'm also completely functioning exactly as is.
I just forget to look at the TV.
At one time. And maybe because like something was happening.
There was a big green bug.
Yeah. And so that was when her husband was like, oh my God, you went blind. We have to go to the doctor. And after eye drops, she was back to normal.
Oh.
You were picking up what I'm dropping.
I think so.
So that's kind of the theme for the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1930, Alma was at a friend's house, and out of nowhere, she got so tired that she passed out on the couch. Can relate. I've literally done that here.
I have a thing called a fainting couch. If I
not even. You just have a normal couch. The last time I was here, It was Christine, Blaise, Eva, and Lisa Lampanelli. They were all. I was lying somehow in the middle of all of you.
Lisa was folding laundry above your head, and Eva was to your left, like talking, and you were in the middle.
I was in the middle of everyone. Like I don't know what was going. All I know is I thought we were having a great conversation, and I blinked, and then it was dark.
And then how long were you asleep?
Literally, Eva said 2 hours.
Yeah, it was almost 2 fucking hours.
I was like, what are you talking about? I was just listening to everyone talk, and then all of a sudden, like, and everyone was still sitting there, which means for the last 2 hours, y'all just watched me conked out.
We were not trying to be polite and keep quiet so you could sleep. Like, we were...
Clearly, it doesn't matter.
We were loud as ever. And I was like, there's no way you were asleep this whole time. You were out cold.
Out cold.
Like, almost in a disturbing
Like,
fashion.
I felt like I time traveled.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at sleeping.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm really good at it.
I think it's our birthday episode. You can brag all you want.
I don't have a lot of great traits, but, like, if someone said fall asleep right now for $1 million, I could do it.
I'll be honest. I am terrible at sleeping, so I envy you in that way. But that's okay.
It's weird. I have also, like, wild insomnia, so, like, if it's dark out... if it's dark out, I cannot sleep. If the sun is out, you game on.
You give me that $1 million.
You better believe it. So, anyway, she passed out in front of, I guess, all of her friends in the middle of the room, and everyone just sat around her and watched. And while she was sleeping, she had a dream that her late father walked up to her and traced an X on the left side of her chest.
Oh, no.
And when she woke up, the mark was still there.
No.
And so her husband was like, I don't know, go to the doctor for your dreams, because something about you's kind of off. Something's happening.
I can't fix it.
You're like blind and then you're not. You're dreaming about your dad. Like, talk to someone else that is not me.
I'm just trying to watch a silent film with you, and you are not participating.
And so she goes to the doctor, and right where the mark was, they found a cancerous tumor.
Oh, he was trying to help. Mm-hmm. Or did he put the tumor? No, he was trying to show the tumor.
I think he was trying to say, like, X marks the spot of, like, you gotta look right here.
Okay.
And so she ended up getting a mastectomy right in time, apparently.
Wow.
So that's actually, I cannot explain that.
That's pretty good. I mean, like, I thought the dad was doing something ghoulish and horrible, but he was like, no, check
that's
this
like,
spot.
It's honestly like the best part of the story, I think.
Oh, great. Can I
it doesn't get, like, really terrible, but I think that's, like, the most heartwarming, believable part to me.
Can I tell you just like a fun birthday story that's
always
okay? So when I was little, I had this Pooh Bear, like my Winnie the Pooh Bear, and he was like my ride or die stuffed animal.
Love it.
And I would always have birthday parties for him because his birthday was February 6th.
Your mom told me about this in your Hercene Shifter bio.
Oh no.
Remember you carried a bunch of dolls around. And you would, like, use them to, like, threaten your brother or something?
Well, yeah. Only if he deserved it.
Only if he was in my fucking way.
But so Pooh Bear would have a birthday party every year. And of course my mother would, like, make this homemade cake and invite people over, and we'd do a big birthday celebration. So February 6th, we did this birthday, and I was probably 5, and I had it in my head that X marks the spot. Like, that was something I had recently learned, you know? And so I had a great idea that all my friends and I should go out back and look for treasure. And so we started looking for X marks the spot. And then we found an X made of, like, little stones, and
did you do this?
A little circle. No. And I thought, oh my God, there's something here. We should dig it up. And so we got, my stepdad at the time, Brian, came out, and I was like, can you, dig here? 'Cause we found a treasure. And he was like, okay. And to humor us, he started digging, and we were like, wow, we see something. There's a box.
The dog poop?
No.
What?
It was a dead cat. Like somebody had buried their
oh my God.
deceased pet.
I thought this was going to be the cutest story in the world. I thought like they had gone out early that day, thrown down an X.
Hell no. They would never have thought to do that. It was just me being like, I think I finally found treasure. And then we found a box.
To be fair, up until the ending, as a kid, I think I was a goddamn pirate.
It was the most amazing moment. We were like, holy shit, we really did it. It's true.
Like, that's manifesting.
I was thrilled. And then Brian all of a sudden went, why doesn't everyone go inside? And I was like, why? We just found treasure. And he was like, get inside now. And
at least it wasn't a bunch of children opening the box and then screaming together.
Oh my God, no. Thank God there was an adult with us. And then later, of course, that night as I was going to bed, I was like, Mommy, why didn't we get to open the box? She's like, there was a dead cat in it.
That's the most Renata way to end this.
Yeah, so anyway, that's why I can't sleep at night or during the day.
Okay, that tracks.
Anyway, X marks the spot. Okay, sorry.
That doesn't, no. And so, so then they found out there was a tumor, so she got it removed.
Wow.
And I think that was just in addition to all the other creepy stuff that had happened to her. She could just add that to the list now.
Just add it to the list of surgeries and
long face man in a dress having a good time and feeling
Fabulous.
right. And so in 1938, Alma lived in Thornton Heath as a housewife with her husband Les and their 16-year-old son Don. And also they have a lodger who's living with them named George.
Okay.
And she's 34 now.
All right.
And this is when the story really takes place. So it starts February 13th in 1938. And while at another friend's house, Alma feels pain in her stomach and she takes medication, which I think she assumed there was like a kidney situation going on.
Sure.
And so while she's in bed, I want to figure out how to actually, because the sources said different things. One source said that she was in bed because of stomach problems, and Les also happened to be on bed rest. But then one of the sources, it got confused, and I don't know which one of it was. She could have been in bed rest because of her stomach, and additionally on bed rest because I guess she was getting dentures.
Oh.
And so one of the things you have to do to have the dentures fit right in your mouth is pull all your fucking teeth out.
Of course.
Again, probably without any medication to make you feel good about it. So obviously bed rest.
Gas, yeah.
Yeah, or like Advil, I don't know. And so
cocaine.
And so she was on bed rest for the stomach thing and her teeth, or she was on bed rest for the stomach thing, and Les was also on bed rest because of his teeth. At any rate, they were both lying in bed, not feeling right. And that is when Alma's looking at their fireplace in their bedroom, and there's a mirror above the fireplace. Mm-hmm. And she realizes that there are small handprints.
Good night.
On the mirror.
Nah.
And the handprints have 6 fingers.
Okay,
instead of 5.
Ew, you just gave me goose, Kim. I wasn't expecting.
It just throws you off.
Yeah,
it's just like, that's a game changer.
It does.
I don't know what it's about, but I feel like when you have someone who has 6 fingers on one hand in your house.
Yeah. I feel like that's something you certainly would have noticed by now.
Like, I knew someone who didn't have any fingers on their hand. And if they left, like, a handprint on the mirror, I would know exactly who it was.
You're like, well, they were in my house. Yeah.
I'd be like, that tracks. I feel like if it's something as rare as 6 fingers, you usually keep track of that
especially
stuff.
Especially a child. It's like...
Yeah, especially something like when it's
small. You probably know if your only child is 16. Doesn't track.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. So, I think it was the same night that she notices this handprint. The couple wake up to the sound of glass shattering in their room.
Oh, God.
And when they wake up and they find out that a glass, I guess like a water cup or something, but glass, that was on their nightstand had been pushed off and shattered all over the floor. Then another glass, instead of falling off the table, this one flies across the room and crashes into a wall and shatters.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
For some reason, this is where her husband tells her to turn the lights off, not on. I guess they turned it on to see what the original shatter was, and then he was like, "Quick, turn the lights off!" As if like what does that do to anybody? What is that?
I don't know.
Worst advice I've ever heard from a man ever, to be honest.
Well, that's saying something.
And I know what I'm saying. Turn the lights off when a poltergeist. Okay, good.
Good.
So they were. She was trying to turn the. So she turned the lights off, and I guess they were just like sitting in bed, wondering what was going on. They felt a cold breeze, and all of a sudden, their comforter flew up over their faces, and they felt like they were trapped in the bed.
Oh, well, actually, that's very scary.
It's like the lights turned off wasn't dark enough. So they couldn't get out from under the cover. They tried reaching for the lamp, but even when they would try to turn it back on, the lamp wouldn't turn on now.
Well.
And they screamed until their son came in. And when he opened the door to see what was going on, a small container of skin cream flew at his face.
Oh my God.
Then the lodger, George, comes running in to see if he can help, and something throws a bunch of coins at him.
Oh my God.
Which I feel like that was common with these like old English poltergeists, either like coins or little rocks or something.
Yeah, like
It's a lot
pebbles.
of throwing small things.
Agreed.
And after all this, the sun looks, so I guess things kind of die down, and then they're looking around the room to see what was going on. And when the son, Don, is looking around the room, wondering why they couldn't turn the light back on, he looks at the lamp and the light bulb is now missing. And then they look around the room and the light bulb is sitting in the center of one of the chairs on the other side of the room.
Ugh. Okay, you know
that's
how
that retainer story.
Yep, you know how I feel about center of things. Didn't you have a story about like an earring in the driveway, or was that somebody else?
That was my ex had that story.
Yeah, just like things
also like it was both of them gently
That's
like
the
perfectly
creepiest
laid
part.
out. It wasn't even. It doesn't like. It's almost to let you know, like, oh, you didn't accidentally drop this, and it's not all.
It's been placed there. It's so creepy, and it's like when my retainer was on in the middle of a cushion, like a
pillow,
decorative pillow, and it's like
on display.
On display, almost. Yeah, it's so. It adds such creepiness.
And since so many ghosts don't do that, when ghosts do it, I feel like they have like a voyeurism complex.
Intentional, yes.
Like you clearly want to be seen.
Yeah, and I'm looking around like, oh my God, are you trying to watch me find this? Ugh, I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that also freaks me out because I'm like, do you know that I know now, or did you put these down gently and then leave, or have you been hiding behind a tree waiting for me to find them and you're into me being freaked out?
Spooky.
Anyway,
I don't like that. Is what I'm saying about the light bulb.
Yeah. Fair. Hey, I read the room. Don't worry. So the next day in the kitchen, it really goes from 0 to 60. Like that happened, like that whole bedroom situation.
In one night, right?
And then the next day, shit is just constant. Uh-oh. So in the kitchen, she's making breakfast and eggs literally start breaking by themselves or flying across the room or shattering out of nowhere.
I feel like that must be a ghost dream though, an egg. I feel like that's like so fragile.
Like
an egg and a light bulb. It's like, well...
Oh, interesting.
You know, it's like, I'll just shatter this. It's pretty easy. Maybe that's why small coins and rocks, it's like easy to throw. I don't know.
I always thought that too. I always thought like the lighter it is, the less energy it takes. Mm-hmm. And you already have to take so much energy to move anything.
To do a little thing.
Yeah. So probably the lighter things are more fun. Like you never hear of like a car getting moved.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Can you imagine if you're on the highway and a ghost goes, never mind. Like, what? So, and then a plate also takes off across the room. And crashes into the wall. So eventually, throughout this story, so many things are getting moved / exploding on their own / smashing into walls. You know, it's a lot of movement by unseen hands. This includes items such as jewelry, pots, radios, clocks, plates, vases. They're all either getting smashed into things, exploding on their own, or vanishing and reappearing in new rooms.
Ugh, yuck.
And not knowing what to do about this, because she's like, I don't think the cops would help me.
No.
Wow. It's been 100 years, girl. You're still onto something. So, not knowing what to do because she couldn't trust the police, interesting, she called the newspaper. She's like, at least they'll talk about it and people will hear about it.
As long as we can trust the media.
As long as people are talking about me. So, she called the Sunday Pictorial, a.k.a. the Sunday Pic is what it was called.
I love that for them.
I love that too. When you know you've made it when you get a nickname.
You know it.
And I guess they had at the time been running a series where they were putting out stories of people's personal experiences with the supernatural.
Ooh.
And so she was like, aha, you have my attention and I have yours. So she invited them to her house to see for themselves how scary this was. And 2 reporters come over and they see a bunch of eggs breaking on their own, as well as dishes flying across the room. And one plate actually explodes in Alma's hands in front of them.
Oh, no.
I actually have a quote. This is from an article. This is from The Guardian. And this was when the reporters come from the Sunday Pic. I just thought it was very well written. A lot of my quotes, by the way, are from The Guardian in this. So, the Sunday Pic, as it was known to its readers, dispatched 2 reporters to Croyden. And as Alma opened the front door to them, they saw an egg fly down the corridor to land at their feet. As she led them to the kitchen, a pink china dog rattled to the floor, and a sharp-bladed tin opener, like a can opener, cut through the air at head height. Sorry. So a can opener came at their fucking faces.
Jesus.
In the front parlor, a teacup and saucer lifted out of Alma's hands as she sat with her guests, and the saucer spinning and splintering went with a ping as if shot in midair. She screamed as a second saucer exploded in her fingers and sliced her thumb.
Oh my God.
While the wound was being bandaged, the reporters heard a crash in the kitchen, and a wine glass had apparently escaped a locked cabinet and shattered on the floor. They saw an egg whirl in through the living room door to crack against the sideboard. A giant chunk of coal rose from the fireplace grate and sailed across the room inches from the head of one of the reporters and smacked into the wall.
Whoa.
So they just see it's
like Beauty and the Beast.
Bananas.
Like fucking chaos.
Almost like a circus.
OMG.
That's not actually in the notes at all. I'm just kind of putting things together.
I am sensing this. Okay, okay.
But it feels almost like someone would say, this is a circus.
Ooh, I live in this circus. Yep. Uh-huh.
So a crowd began forming around Alma's house after the paper came out.
Oh, shit.
Because they were like, what the fuck's going on?
And of course they publish her address.
Yeah, free tickets to the circus. So one of them was actually apparently a clairvoyant who approached her and said that she was an ectoplasm carrier.
Oh, well.
And
if I had a nickel.
And her son is apparently in danger, and this thing is after her son. Which, like, an ectoplasm carrier is if, like, you're a carrier of a gene,
of it,
or like you actually hold ectoplasm and you're unaware that you know how to manifest it.
And it's gonna come out your nose like those old egg white things.
Yeah, I don't know. And also, I only saw this source in one place. I didn't see, like, for all I know, she straight up just told this to somebody. Like, oh, a clairvoyant came to me and said that I'm an ectoplasm carrier.
Good point.
But I don't know.
It's a very unique story, ectoplasm carrier. I've never heard that before.
Certainly original script.
Original.
And the next day's article in the Sunday Pick had the tagline after reporting on her. The tagline was, "This is the most curious front page story we have ever printed." So talk about some PR.
Talk about headlines, making headlines.
Yeah. And then, so the tagline, the papers come out and people are now hearing about this around town. And so only a week later, Nandor Fodor heard about Alma and her supernatural experiences. And I've heard of him before, but I never know how to pronounce his name because he's Hungarian. And anyway, he's apparently, I do know this information. he's a big investigator. He was a big investigator in during the spiritualist movement. He was kind of on the same page as like Harry Price and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I mean, he was like just a big investigator into the paranormal. And
I feel like I recognize the name from
previous stories.
Jeff the Mongoose.
Yes.
And this was confirmed when I Googled him, and it was like, and a talking Nandor Fodor and a talking mongoose. So I imagine that is why I recognize his name.
So he was part of like the Ghost Club, which I'm a part of. He was part of the London Spiritualist Alliance, which I don't think that one's still open anymore. He's also part of the literal Fairy Society.
Whoa.
Fairy Investigation Society.
Is that FAERIE or is that FAIRY?
The first one.
Wow.
And he also wrote for Light, which was like a supernatural paranormal magazine that was big at the time. I think that SPR is in charge of Light or something.
Is it like Light, like LIGHT?
Oh, we're just gonna keep doing this.
I don't know.
It's L-I-G-H.
Or is it like light, like
light bright,
like spiritual light?
Oh no, LIGHT.
Okay, got it.
And he also, so his way of going about investigating was that Freud. He was a big fan of Freud.
Is that FRE?
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know what word you were gonna say next. So I was gonna fucking do it.
So he was a big fan of.
Why?
Well, at the time, Freud was like
the hot shit,
a genius.
Sure.
Yeah. Nowadays, we don't feel
a little
the same
questionable.
way.
It's fine.
But his approach was he liked combining supernatural with psychological reasoning.
I love that.
I liked it too. I mean, I like psychology. I like supernatural. I like clumping them together. But he often thought of supernatural events coming from repressed trauma.
Whoa.
So he was one of those people that thought that you actually are causing the energy around you.
Oh.
There's actually a quote where, so this was his thought, which I think it came from a really Freudian space. He said, as the door to the unconscious swung open, Fodor reasoned that a suppressed feeling might escape its human host in material form.
Whoa.
So he thought that like mediums were only more supernatural because maybe they had some like repressed trauma, and so they had like some more like electromagnetic energy around them or something like that.
So
because
accessing that trauma or unlocking it will like create a manifestation.
like your subconscious was more powerful than you were aware of and causing
That's
things around you.
spooky.
Yeah. And it got him in some hot water every now and then because he was kind of it sounded like he wasn't being very kind to mediums by saying like, oh, they're just people with a lot of repressed trauma, and
Sure. Okay.
it was just kind of like I don't know if he meant it that way, but it certainly probably wasn't being taken well
Yeah.
in the spiritualist community, because it was also taking away from, it was invalidating anything that they had seen.
Right. It's sort of dismissing them.
It was like, oh, well, what happened in your childhood?
Right. Okay. I see.
I not at all the same, but I got a lot of the same kind of like repetitive experience of like any queer people where it's like, oh, well, what happened in your childhood to be
that
queer?
made you this way
Yeah.
or whatever.
Again, not the same situation.
No, but I
it
see
I
see what you're saying.
I can see from being
From
asked that question before.
perspective, yeah.
I can see how mediums might have been offended if they were like, they thought they were doing honest work.
Sure, and the answer is like a lot of fucked up shit. Why? You want to know?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Or nothing at all. I'm just really good at my job.
I had 16 kidney surgeries.
Yeah, exactly.
With no anesthesia.
So he had actually gotten a lot of personal praise from Freud, or he had sent Freud his work on combining spiritualism with bringing up repressed
Interesting.
childhood memories, and Freud had written him back saying like, you are making strides in this world.
Love Siggy.
Love Mundy. And so when he heard about Alma, when Fodor heard about Alma, he went into investigating this with a very particular mindset. That's mainly why I'm describing what his approach was, just to let you know how he went into this with like, okay, what happened psychologically?
Sure.
He also wanted to jump on this case really quickly because this was like right after a big wave of spiritualism. So a lot of investigators were going to hear about it and probably come knocking on her door. And he wanted to be the first one in. Also, because he had been either intentionally or accidentally kind of shit talking about mediums.
Yeah.
They were not very happy with him. He actually had just been sued for libel.
Oh,
and so I think he was trying to get back into the good graces, and he was like, oh, I can show them that my work is useful. Mm-hmm. And if I take on this case, then maybe I can like show mediums and clairvoyants and people and spiritualists in general that like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I don't know. He was probably shooting himself in the foot anyway by trying to be helpful and probably going backwards on that. But but his mindset was like, this is going to be the thing that gets me back in the circle. And he sent his assistant, Lori Evans, to the Fielding house. And Lori also saw glasses flying around and shattering. And by this point, Alma also told them that a wardrobe had fallen down by itself, which may or may not have been the same wardrobe that the long-faced man was in.
Yep.
And it had landed on top of her son's bed.
Oh, no.
He was not in the bed. But I'm wondering if this is where we also heard that a clairvoyant said her son's in danger.
Oh, yeah.
So Lori goes back and tells Nandor about this experience. And Nandor decides that he's going to go to the house. He's going to bring his own eggs and glasses. And he's going to introduce himself to the spirits by saying, these are for you to break, almost as like a gift.
Here are some eggs.
And they apparently break that shit so fast.
They ate that shit up.
They were like, finally, someone's giving me toys. And so basically Nandor saw the same thing everyone else had already seen. Then one day it gets even creepier because then George wakes up one morning and he goes to the family and tells them, in the middle of the night, I woke up to you, Alma, standing over my bed and smiling.
No.
And she denied the whole thing.
No.
So that freaked them out.
Fuck.
And at that point, that's when Nandor's like, okay, Alma, come to my lab. And I'm going to study you 2 times a week, 3 hours per session. So basically 6 hours per week. And he was going to pay her. So
that's nice.
It was like, I just want to like study you and see what's going on. And if this stuff is really happening and you're unaware of it, I just want to get evidence of it in my lab that this is the real deal. And each time she came to the lab, she was strip searched, apparently by women.
Okay.
Makes it better. And then put into basically one big stocking to like hold her down from like her like to like keep her from doing any sleight of hand stuff, I guess.
So sure.
Like,
so like a sleeping bag situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that thing that I keep saying that was like on Shark Tank where it's like a hug?
Oh my
a hug pod?
God! Yeah, that keeps coming up in my ads.
I think that might be my birthday
TikTok.
gift to myself too. I want one so bad.
There's one of Robert Herjavec like
Yeah.
on TikTok.
It looks so
I keep
snuggly.
seeing it. Yeah.
So I sleep every night with my hands in my pants
We've
and my
talked
underwear.
about this.
I love like the my hands being held down.
Yeah, I put my fingers like that too.
Yeah, it just feels nice. I feel like even if I'm sleeping
Secure.
on a yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm sleeping on a couch, I know my arms aren't going to fall off the side
Either
or anything.
that or my arms are up
yes,
here.
they're either up or they're down.
Or they're secured. There's no in between.
So okay, so she's basically in like one of those Shark Tank
The
things.
hug pod, yeah.
The hug pod.
That's not what it's called. That's what I call it.
I call it feels like a hug.
It's something about a hug.
And I feel like a pea in a pod.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe.
Hug pod.
What if it is called that? And I just said it's not called that.
Is it called? If it is, it was perfectly fucking named
perfectly
because we didn't
named.
even mean to do that.
Yeah.
Each time she came to the lab, she was strip searched and basically put into like this little hug pod to prove that she didn't have any tools on her and that she wasn't going to do anything with her hands.
Right.
Another source said she was just put into different clothes than the clothes she was brought. So I don't know if the hug pod, I don't know how legit that is.
Okay.
And apparently during all the different times that she had gone to the lab to be studied, she was able to conjure or manifest, quote, coins, nuts, stones, a finch,
Whoa.
live mice, a terrapin, which I'm pretty sure is a turtle,
Yeah.
beetles, which is why those little green ones were freaking me out,
Oh no.
shards of antique pottery, an oil lamp, and jewelry.
Ew. Shards of antique pottery? I don't know why that got me, but like what?
Yeah. And like of all the things.
And live animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, terrapin is a turtle because I think that's the Maryland.
Oh, the Terps.
Yes. Yep.
Uh-huh.
The
Sports.
Hashtag sports. Yeah, terrapin, mice. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they're like, what's going on? How's this happening? And interestingly, it was so one of those things that I mentioned was jewelry. And it is interesting to report that sometimes Alma would go jewelry shopping,
Oh.
decide not to buy something in front of everybody, and yet it would just show up later in the lab.
How mysterious.
As one source called it, paranormal shoplifting.
Really? I like that.
Here is actually when they wanted to test out like where this jewelry was coming from or how it was showing itself. Nandor and 4 of his colleagues actually took her jewelry shopping. And here is a quote. Alma, in skittish spirits, agreed to see if her poltergeist could spirit a ring from the local branch of Woolworths. Woolworths. My stupid mouth can't say it.
Woolworths. It's a lot.
Woolworths.
It's a lot.
And at the jewelry counter, Fodor and his party watched Alma select a ring with 2 stones and a curved bridge. They examined it and then returned it to the assistant. It was the nicest ring there, Alma said, but she did not want to buy it today. The shop girl eyed them suspiciously as they moved away. Fodor said, it looked fishy to her, and she followed us. We began to feel uncomfortable. As the group turned into a road near the shop, Alma said that she heard a rattle in the box that she was carrying.
Oh my God.
And Nandor took the box from her, opened it up, and found the ring she had.
Oh my God.
And he said, my flesh creeped, which is how I feel when Christine walks in a room. But also, like, why did your flesh creep? Because, like, aren't you, like, supposed to be, like, a big old researcher?
Trying to figure out why I don't know. I don't know.
I feel the same way as you.
Mm.
And it got even wilder in the lab when one day Alma was able to summon, because they were doing seances in this research lab to see if she could conjure anything. And during one of the seances, she summoned a Persian spirit guide.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wild in a lot of ways. Also, like, do we know this person was Persian, or did someone say they were Persian?
A lot of questions.
Also, apparently, this spirit guide had a pet tiger.
Oh, of course, he was Persian.
And apparently,
Lord.
after each session where she would talk to this Persian spirit guide, when she would leave the room, she would be covered in scratches that was from the tiger.
Sure.
I think if a tiger scratched me,
it
wouldn't be a little scratch.
I don't think you'd walk out of there.
Fucked up.
If a tiger scratched you, you'd probably be gone.
For sure.
Right?
Another time, she told Nandor that she had a dream that a bat bit her, and later showed him the puncture wounds in her neck that he was not there to witness being created, so she could have just done it herself.
Yeah.
Which also means she's hurting herself for evidence. I'm assuming, by the way, that none of this happened because all of the sources were pretty clear in the theory that this is not accurate.
I gotta
so we're
say,
clear.
I don't think you've covered this before.
I don't think I have
Like,
either.
there's no way we would have.
I have to go back and listen to the Thornton Heath poltergeist.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Honestly, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe just leave it in the past. 'Cause
Maybe no one else listened to it either, because I really don't want to find on my birthday. Nonetheless, I don't want to find out how wrong I was.
Dare you?
At least once. Could have been right now or 100 episodes
or
ago.
then. Who knows?
I don't want to find out.
No.
Let's just assume that one town happened to have two poltergeists.
It's so wild.
Here's another thing. One time she claimed to fall into a trance, and then she ended up at Nandor's lab where she stood outside and saw a chauffeur standing there. And they think she was astral projecting, or she was claiming astral project in this trance. So she shows up at the lab, she sees a chauffeur there, and the chauffeur also sees her, even though she didn't know he would be able to. And then the chauffeur later claimed that he also saw her standing there, and it looked like she was a solid, full human body.
Oh, okay.
And Nandor is like, she could have literally just gone there and stood there.
Oh.
And like the chauffeur saw her and she's telling everyone she wasn't there.
Can you imagine she's jogging up to the front like, I'm astral projecting. He's like, why are you running down the block?
Yeah. So I think the skeptics are like, she probably was just there.
Went there.
Considering, I mean, she like told everyone she was blind and then she wasn't. And she told everyone, I feel like there's a lot of things she's telling people and there's really no evidence
Let's
of
just
it.
say red flags. A lot of red flags.
Sure. And it's actually the reading the sources of this was very fun because all of them were like trying to very passively be like, so she was lying.
They're like, you get it.
Yeah.
We get
Every
it,
source was pretty on top of it. They were like, okay, so the theory is that this is all
We're
not
all
true.
on the same page.
So her claims ended up getting darker.
Uh-oh.
Which is fascinating in hindsight because this is a psychological perspective.
Right.
Or he was looking from a psychological
Good
reference.
point.
Because the things that got darker is she is now claiming that a spirit is forcing itself on her at night.
Uh-oh.
But if you were playing the Freudian game, it's almost like she's now getting vulnerable and really talking about something that might have happened.
Oh, no.
Assuming that there was repressed memories or something. I don't know what happened.
Assuming that theory.
Based on his theory, this is kind of giving him some oomph.
It's like playing into that theory, yes.
Another one, here's a random one. Here's another thing that she's now claiming is that on her last kidney surgery, she died on the table and she's been a ghost this whole time.
Wait. Oh, hang on. What?
And she's partially dead.
Oh, sure.
And
Me too, by the way.
she's partially dead and has been keeping it a secret. But sometimes when people aren't around, she can float or be invisible. But only when people aren't around.
Oh, no.
But here's another one that is also from a psychological perspective, if that's the route we're going, could be telling. She then tells them that there's a new experience she's been having, which is she has the urge to hurt animals.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She really is a field day
Fuck this.
in Psychology Today. She even reported seeing her cat have an injury, and she was worried that she had done it while blacked out.
Oh, dear. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And also, since no one was around, for all we know, she did hurt the animal. She's just saying, like, oh, I
Oops,
don't remember.
Maybe I did. Oh, this is troubling.
Yeah.
This is troubling.
So Nandor at this point is wildly aware that Alma is probably making these things up, And as a Freud fan, he believes that it was her way of dealing with repressed trauma. And he thought it was probably of sexual nature. And he assumed this because there was a previous case he worked on that was similar to Alma's where he was able to conclude the same thing. Also, the fact that one of the things she is now announcing after enough time spent with him is like, I'm having fears like that or something like that's happening to me. And maybe she wanted to talk about it, but she was using this kind of like other storyline to kind of cushion the blow, or so she didn't want to face it. Who knows?
Yeah.
And also maybe that never happened. I don't know. But this is the conclusion he came to. And one source says that he also had learned after spending enough time with her that she was also grieving 2 miscarriages. Plus growing up sick as a child. And also in this source, it said that her husband may have been impotent and she was sleeping with the lodger in the house.
Oh, no.
This is quite the scandalous source. But in theory, there were a lot of problems or things she was dealing with that could have had her like snap, or she would have been using this story as I don't know what the right word would be, but she's using this story as a way to cope with everything.
Right. And I mean, even, like, I'm not saying any of them are true, but even if one of them were true, that's a lot. Like, so even if, that's...
But then also remember, he recently got sued for libel because he was... So I don't know if even this information that we're hearing that he discovered about her
and
is useful.
What was it, the 30s, right?
It was the 30s.
He could just be like, oh, she did this and
she's
slept
hysterical.
with this guy, and she's hysterical, and her uterus is all fucked up.
Yeah, so she's already like coming up with stories that don't seem right. So she's not sounding super valid.
She's at a disadvantage as far as like
she's at a disadvantage.
Men judging the situation.
He's also at a disadvantage because he's already been known to like not be saying the right stuff. So he could be and he's trying to get in the good graces of a community he's now been kind of cast out of.
Yes.
So he could be just coming up with this shit to make his research look better.
Interesting.
And he also, at any rate, no matter who's right or wrong, in the research next, he tells Alma, before you come to your next session at the lab, I'd like you to get an x-ray. And he doesn't give her the reason, but really he wants to see if she has been smuggling things in despite being strip searched, if you know what I'm saying.
She swallows a couple terrapins.
Or she's putting things up places.
Ooh, no, not live animals.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't give you an answer about that. Unfortunately, that's a mystery for you to discover. But so he doesn't tell her that. He's just like, oh, I just need you to get an x-ray. And the x-ray comes back on the same day that she has something heart-shaped on her body. And sure enough, at that lab session, she does a seance or something and magically conjures a heart-shaped locket. Which I think she had put on up there.
Boop, boop, boop.
And then with her hands, some sort of sleight of hand, pulled it on out.
In the magic hug.
Yep.
What do we call it?
The magic hug. I thought you were referring to a vagina. I was like, that is a magic hug.
It's inside my magic hug.
It is. I don't know. You know, no one would disagree, I don't think.
I mean,
it's a great euphemism.
Thank you.
Well, so she had a heart-shaped locket in her magic hug. And she pulled it on out of her magic hug. So
beep boop pop. There we go.
Bada bing, bada boom. So Nandor told his cohorts, because he saw the x-ray and then this happened, he was like, okay, folks, this is what's going on. She's clearly like bullshitting us. But I don't want to study her anymore from a supernatural standpoint, because she's clearly not, this isn't supernatural anymore.
This is fake, right?
He was like, I just want to study her from a psychological perspective. Which is like, what an insult, but also like, I would too. I'd be like, I just want to keep watching
this is still fascinating.
Yeah.
Just in a different way. Yeah.
So I would have been one of those unethical people and been like, yeah, that's what we're absolutely doing now. But apparently that goes completely against their values. Of
course it does.
And
empathy, of course it does. Oh, so we're just going to do a psychological study. She has no idea.
Yeah.
But we're just going to psychologically study this woman.
But the nosy part of me, I'm like, okay.
Let's do it.
I kind of want to see how far does this go?
Oh my God.
And so all of the people that were working with him, and he was like the chief researcher at this institute, by the way. And all the people that he was working with, they were like, this is unethical. Also, like, we've been noticing that, I think one of the things that he did was like something with deception, but he was starting to get so desperate to prove his point that he was no longer using proper methods anymore.
Oh.
And so they were like, this isn't good. It's going too far. And also now we know she's not a supernatural being. So like, there's no point to this. And so not only did they halt the investigation immediately, but he was also kicked out of his own lab.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so, despite his desperation to solve the case, he did earn the respect back from some spiritualists. And here's a quote. Instead of catching her in it and then calling her out and exposing her to everybody, he did not seek to denounce or humiliate her, especially when he was unsure. So he was trying to be more
That's nice.
even keel compared to his previous attempts with research like this, where he was so quick to like lambast people.
Sure.
He was trying to be more open-minded, I guess.
Yeah.
And that won back some people. Obviously didn't win back everyone because he got kicked out of his job. But that's the end of her investigation. After World War II, Nandor put out a book about it called On the Trail of the Poltergeist and changed all their names in it, in case you're wondering why the names don't make sense. And after the war, the International Institute for Psychical Research, which is the lab he was part of, ended up closing. And all of the research on Alma Fielding was handed over to be archived at the SPR.
Wow.
And then everything that's in her file, by the way, is, quote, transcripts of his interviews with her and seances with her, lab reports, x-rays, copies of her contracts, scribbled notes, sketches, and photographs. And later on, much later on, like very recently for us, an author named Kate Summerscale got a hold of the notes and wrote a book on all of the events and called the book The Haunting of Alma Fielding. And it was literally published during COVID.
No way.
So it's brand spanking new.
Brand spanking new.
And in her book, she also talks about the relationship that she notices between poltergeist cases and how those spirits most often affect women in particular.
Wow.
Because if you look back on a bunch of poltergeist cases, it's usually women, but it's also often children,
teenage girls or preteens
or servants or enslaved people,
right,
or people with minimal to no power in the households.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You just gave me goose cam.
Well, that's Miss Kate for you. And it was a really interesting take, which now that I've heard it, I'm like, duh.
Right.
But it was just a really nice way to write in from a current feminist perspective.
Totally.
To be like, yeah, a lot of those poltergeist cases obviously aren't true, but there might have been a psychological reason for why these people without power were seeking control.
Fascinating.
And so here's a quote that I thought was really good. Also from The Guardian. And I don't know if this was Kate herself or if this was The Guardian speaking about, it was one of them. Women had enjoyed a spell of freedom during and immediately after the war when many of them went out to work, but the popular press now encouraged them to keep to the home. The Daily Mail even warned female readers against having too lively of a relationship, even all the way down to their belongings. One paper advertised, "Don't wear a necklace if you're tempted to twiddle with it. Keep your hanky in your bag. It's not meant to be twisted." So don't fidget. Ugh, the ADHD women were fucking struggling.
Wow. Did you see the comments in that fucking Instagram live we did where people were like, stop touching your hair. Stop playing with your hair. Stop playing with your face.
Oh my God, the Daily Mail from the 1930s was in our Instagram live.
Like
crazy.
they knew. And then they said, not to be your mom, or a bunch of people were like, not to be your mom, but like, stop playing with your hair. It looks fine. And then my mom, who was in Europe, and I didn't even think she was awake, posted like, as your mom, yes, stop playing and fiddling with your hair and touching
You just
your
get nervous.
face. I fidget, I touch, I play with my whatever.
I don't even notice it anymore.
Everybody made me so self-conscious.
I get nervous and can't climb stairs. So, we've all got our thing. So the rest of the quote is, "The ideal woman was contained, composed, and restrained, but for a woman with psychic powers, or at least pretending to have psychic powers, different rules applied. A medium could undertake extravagant feats of mobility, astral projection, transfiguration, time travel, levitation, and in doing so, escape the constraints of her gender and her class."
Wow.
So that it makes total sense to me
Absolutely.
that, especially, it didn't even occur to me that like immediately after the war and during the war, they had their own freedom because all the men were fucking gone.
But have you heard that? That happened in the U.S. too, where after the war, because they said, you know, they had the whole like, you know, go to work.
Yeah.
We're women.
We can do it.
We can do it. We fill in. And then the second the men came back, they were like, anyway, now go home and make pies. And
Yeah.
it was like, we just were
We just
holding up
proved
the
that
entire economy.
We literally held the country together
We
for you.
held the fucking country together and were parents and
Yeah.
worked. And now you're like, anyway, go back to your fucking.
It's just the most condescending
Yes.
pat on the head of
Absolutely.
like, great, now go back and clean
Thank
the kitchen.
you for your hard work. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Go clean the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, well, it makes sense that also during a wave of spiritualism,
Absolutely.
that all of them would be like, I just found out how powerful I can be without you around. And now if you're going to keep me back in the kitchen, like, I'm just going to make moves in a different way and show you that I can still control situations that'll freak you the fuck out.
Absolutely. Or even subconsciously. Like
Even subconsciously, yeah. Like,
even if you didn't even do it on purpose, but you were like, I need some sort of like control over my surroundings.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that wild? So I thought that was a great talking point that I hadn't really heard before. There's always a way to throw feminism into anything. I love it. So although that is a great talking point, the main theory at the time was that Alma was an aspiring performer who never got to live out her dream.
Right.
And she found an audience and began stretching the story to keep her audience interested when she realized that they were hitting dead ends.
I mean, also can't totally.
I honestly,
there's a bug.
it's
no.
literally...
What is going on in this room? I record in here 3 days a week, and this is not an issue I've ever encountered.
I feel fear. Okay, I'm almost done.
Fear.
Okay, so so the main thought is that she was an aspiring performer and she found an audience, so she ran with it. Or she could have truly been afflicted by something early on, like she was a little kid and saw the long faced man. Like,
Right.
I've seen shit. Like, she could have really just been, especially there is the theory of if you're sicker, maybe something was leeching onto you or you felt you were vulnerable to something. And maybe your talents only went so far, and when you felt like people weren't interested anymore, she all of a sudden was making it much more dramatic, just hoping
Right.
for 5 more seconds of fame before she had to go back to like working in a kitchen and being a housewife.
Right.
And
Right.
so one theory is that it was all bullshit. One was that only the second half was bullshit.
Like part of it was true.
Mhm.
Like maybe the X on her or
Yeah.
whatever. And maybe
Like, she's had some spooky shit happen, but she was just desperate for attention when people stopped caring about the real stuff.
Interesting.
And so Nandor believed that it's probably the second one, where at first she was genuine and had some
Oh.
real issues, or at least some real experiences, and then afterwards it became a hoax when she saw that people were losing interest.
Sure.
And there were many reports early on from witnesses that the phenomena was real and was authentic, so that does help in that favor, that like in the beginning there is some shit that people just can't explain. And even her own parents and her own family didn't believe in her gifts until a plate literally exploded in like the mom's hands.
Right.
So even her own family says like it was probably legit because they couldn't explain some of it, but as for like the things near the end, like no one really believes.
So it just got out of hand.
It just got out of hand. I think she maybe liked the limelight too much and took it too far, and then everyone was like, okay, we see through this.
Wow.
But now that with that book that came out in 2020, it's interesting to see why she kept pushing it, even though it sounded ridiculous. Like, if there's a connection to like feminism or independence or wanting
Yeah.
control, and she was like, I don't know I don't know what the connection is, but it's interesting to now think about it from that framework.
Yeah, it could be like, oh, she wanted her own like control over her narrative or whatever.
Even if she was like, I know I'm being irrational and crazy, but like 10 minutes from now, I'm going to have to go back to being a housewife. I'm just like, let me just have the attention. I don't know.
Throw some eggs against the wall.
Throw some eggs against the wall.
Make it
Which I think she always, as far as we know about her, she always maintained that everything was real.
Okay. What?
And again, like, how wild that he was coming at this from a psychological approach, and this is the one that I'm most interested in psychologically.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, what were you thinking, girl?
And the fact that he even said, I'm coming at this psychologically, but I also think it could have been real and psychological at the same time.
Could have been both.
Wow.
So I feel like his story ended well, of like he wanted to be back in the good graces while still being a healthy skeptic.
Totally.
And I think it worked.
he found that medium. Wow. Okay, that was a great story.
Thank you. It took forever because we had so many delays with that stupid bug and everything.
No, I feel like I caused a lot of delays as well. I'm going to tell you my story, but I have to refill my wine. Okay. I have a crime story for you.
I'm very excited.
Okay. And because it is our birthdays,
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to go to On This Day in History
Ooh.
and just find a criminal with the same birthday.
Oh, that's so smart.
I was like, that's my extent of.
Is it the criminal's birthday or is this the day of the crime?
This is the criminal's birthday.
Ooh.
So
okay.
they have a similar astrological chart to you.
Okay, got it.
Yes. So you, I guess, have to share the spotlight today
That's fine.
with this criminal.
I'm used to sharing it with you, so it was an adjustment, but
true.
we're here.
So this is the story of Cletus Hehmz.
Okay.
And
hey,
I feel
you found a Cletus.
okay. We were just talking about the fucking name Cletus.
I'm glad. I feel validated because you really kind of gaslit me into thinking I was crazy.
And when I was researching this, I said to Blaise, do you know the name Cletus? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, do you know that name? And he's like, yeah, I guess.
Christine literally acted like, oh, well, I acted. You really had never heard
legitimately
had never heard the name Cletus before. And I said like, oh, I remember who I was talking about, but I was like, oh, someone named Cletus. And she was like, that's a real name. And I was like, that's literally such a name.
You were like, oh, it's such a hillbilly name, or like a
it's like the stereotype of like Cletus.
like a southern whatever.
Like hillbilly, yeah.
And I was like, I said, remember, it sounds like a Roman general or something.
Hey, any Cletus listening to this is going to really like what you had to say because I'm sure I just damaged my relationship with Cletuses.
Cleti.
Cleta.
No, I had never heard that name before. So when I found this, I was like, well.
Who do we even know named Cletus? Why were we talking about that?
You said it was your dad's dog's name.
Oh, yeah. My dad got a new dog named Cletus.
And I said, what is he, like a Roman general? And you were like, what are you?
He's a dog from the sticks, actually.
Like,
but
what are you talking about?
No,
Roman
Cletus,
general.
I think, probably fits him. Anyone that lives in that area.
And you were like, isn't that a name from The Simpsons? Yes, it is. I looked it up. It is definitely a name from The Simpsons. It's kind of the hick guy.
Mm-hmm. The stereotype.
As someone who lives in Kentucky, I was like, how have I never?
Yeah, honestly, embarrassing. You're going to run into 10 Cleti. And they're going to feel like, you never heard of me?
But that's the part where you told me this, I never heard it, and then
Did you think I was fucking tricking you?
No. But then I started researching, what story should I do? And that came up, and I was like,
ring ding ding.
Seriously, what are the odds? Anyway, so you're right. I'm gonna suddenly start meeting people with that name, probably. So anyway, shares a birthday with you.
Great.
Sorry to do it. So we don't know much about his early life, but we do know he was born and raised in a small town in the South. I guess I'm not surprised by that information now.
Yeah, tracks.
He was described as charming, made friends easily. Someone described him as a pillar of the community.
Well, that'll do it.
Red flag. He even used to be a reverend, had a reverend shtick going. But he worked as a programmer, and he traveled a lot for work. It seemed like nobody, I don't know, the vibe I got was that people didn't completely know what he did for work because they just all said he was a programmer, and I feel like that's a very vague term. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't know much about programming what? I don't know.
Computer. I feel like a computer programmer and a Cletus don't connect in
that's
my head.
The part. Maybe that's the part. Maybe I just have
also maybe I'm
biased, you know?
Maybe I'm being a dick to Cleti.
Exactly. One day, Cletus was out on a business trip when his girlfriend, Eileen Betzels, got a call from his work, and they asked if he was available. And Eileen, confused, said no, he is on his work trip. Mm-hmm. And they were like, where? And she was like, Northern California. And his coworker was like, he's not on a work trip, at least not for us.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we don't have a work trip on the schedule.
Oh.
And that's when Cletus's lies began to unravel.
I'm not a programmer.
I'm not.
Or a reverend.
Or
a pillar of the community. Now, one of those is true.
True truth isn't a lie, you know? Mm-hmm. So rather than, this is my favorite part of the story because I feel like this often goes the other direction.
Oh.
Rather than let Cletus know she was onto him, Eileen
was like, no, everything's fine. Everything's normal. So when he would call, she would be like, oh no, everything's normal. Like she didn't say like, why are you not on a work trip? Like she was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, but pretend.
She was doing the sneaky thing. She was doing the Christine move. That's like such a Christine
like,
move.
Thank you.
My favorite thing is when Christine is so smart that she plays dumb. She does it all the time.
It's one of my favorite.
It's my favorite, especially when she's talking to men.
It's my favorite activity.
And she goes, I'm sorry, I'm just a little confused.
Can
I'm
you
like,
just explain that to me again?
I love it because like you are kind of implying that you have like a stupid female brain, if one at all. And you're just like, I'm sorry, I'm just so confused. Can you explain that to me again?
I'm sorry, I'm just so dumb. Can you say it again in easier words?
And slowly.
And
please.
slowly. And then they're like, I can't. And I'm like, what a surprise.
It's I've literally, we won't say names, but there have been times where I've literally watched Christine tell me in advance. She's like, I'm going to fucking say this and get the truth out of him. And there have been men who have tried to trick us. We have been
Those sneaky little bastards.
We have been almost bamboozled by someone's words. And had we not called them out, but Christine I was like, literally this guy said this. And Christine was like, I'm going to play stupid and then make him re-explain it to me and catch himself in that stupid lie.
Love that game.
It's so fun.
But sometimes
You're so good at it.
they're so dumb though. That's the problem.
Well,
It's not it's not even that I'm good at it.
wait a minute. Are we talking about the obvious?
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. Hang on.
There have been moments where they'll be like, I just talked to Em about it. And I'm like, oh, really?
And I'll be like, no, you did not.
Em is 2 feet from me and has been because
That was a great day.
we're on a road trip.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, you did just talk to Em about it. Oh, weird. What did they say? Oh, give me more information.
Yeah.
Explain it to me. Well, hang on. Let me turn on my phone recorder. Okay. Say more. Yeah. Love that game.
Anyway, okay, so Eileen is a little Christine.
Eileen gets it. So Eileen's like,
she's
don't
with the bad
even
days.
fucking worry, everything's normal. But she started looking for clues, started looking through all his shit.
Oh, well, that's also very Christine.
Yeah, well,
It's like I'm I'm here, I might as well learn about everything.
So she goes through all the cabinets because, okay,
What?
I'm trying to defend her here.
Well,
Because she hears, oh, what work trip from the coworker, and is like, well, shit. I have to imagine she had some sort of inkling that this guy was lying to her.
okay.
Because why else would you be like, okay, I'm just going to go through all his shit because he's hiding something? I mean,
whether or not, I think you'd find a reason to do it. I
That's
don't know
true.
about Eileen, but I feel like you'd be like, well, we could.
I feel like they're hiding something. I don't have any evidence.
I like how you're like, I'm going to defend her when it's like, you're probably the same person. So at this point.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so she pretends everything's hunky-dory. She starts looking for clues. She starts going through all his shit in the cabinets, etc. She is going through the kitchen.
Sorry.
Is there a bug?
Yeah.
You know, he's been bugging me. Oh. But
Continue without comment because you don't deserve it.
I'm going to pee my pants. Okay.
I'm going to get on another plane and leave.
Don't blame you. I don't.
What was with the quickness to that? That was so smooth.
So idiotic is what it is. So she goes through some cabinets. She finds a box of tea that has been in there for years, but for some reason has never been thrown away, much like this creepy demon that is on your cake that was never thrown away.
I love him.
She opens up the box of tea and she finds a key.
Okay.
Okay. She's never seen this key before. So she goes throughout the house to see if it matches any of the doors in the house.
Are you laughing because it's embarrassing how similar you are? It's embarrassing, ain't it?
Did you know that in Spanish?
Are you just reading a diary entry from like 3 days ago that you wrote?
My life journal.
It's
Surprise!
like, I played dumb, then I looked through everything, then I found a key and opened every door. And when you know it, I swear to God, if there's a lemon in this story.
Can you imagine? No, but I might try to insert one. What is it? A lunar lemon.
Your little eel gnome or whatever.
Eel gnome. Oh, okay.
Oh, Penne alla gnome.
That's actually really good.
Honestly, it sounds good.
It's actually really good. Okay. Sorry, this gets disturbing. So we'll get there shortly. So she goes through all the cabinets, blah, 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 finds this key, and she does not know what the fuck it goes to. So she drives out to their vacation cabin. Mm-hmm. This is where they spend summers. Mm-hmm. She...
What did you do next, Christine?
So they had this sort of like cozy cottage situation. Uh-huh. And he'd always told her this would be...
What?
This is the perfect place for us to get away from it all and be, quote, closer to I almost wrote hashtag. Closer to nature. Uh-huh. Okay. Red flag. Red flag, red flag, red flag. So,
closer to nature, aka in the woods?
In the fucking woods.
Okay.
Okay. So it seems really sinister now, even though in the past she just fucking believed that he wanted to just be closer to nature. So she has no idea what to expect. She goes into the cabin and sees nothing. Mm-hmm. So she had this key and she was like, I feel like it has to go somewhere. So she searches around the cabin and the only thing that seemed odd was a sort of like mildewy, weird smell. But she was
it's a fucking lemon.
She was like, we're out in the woods. So she heard a noise.
It's a lemon. You tried.
I tried so hard. To be fair, I knew it wouldn't go very far. So 2 bullets. I already. So.
What?
She searched around the cabin. The only thing that seemed odd was a sort of mildewy smell, but she chalked that up to being out in the woods. Then she heard a noise. It sounded almost like a low rolling sound, like someone was rolling a ball or a marble around. Uh-huh. She looked everywhere but couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Then she realized it was coming from underneath her.
Yeah.
She started rolling up the rugs. She rolled up a particular buffalo plaid rug and found a trap door with a staircase. She bravely, or stupidly, climbed down the stairs. At first, all she could see was a bed.
If Zach Bagans crawls out from under the bed, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
But then she noticed there was someone hiding under it.
Oh my God.
She described them as looking worn and haggard. The first thing she blurted out was, "Who are you?" And the person said,
"My name is Zach Bagans." Is that in the notes? Let me see your stupid computer.
Her name was Chloe Fisherman.
Oh, okay. Threw me off there. Was she eating bagel bites? Something's going to happen.
Chloe's voice sounded muffled. When Eileen looked closer, she realized Chloe was trapped in some sort of glass case.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Chloe Fisherman. Don't even say anything. Hang on. Chloe, Chloe. I know lemon's in there. What else is it? Don't even say it. I want to figure it out myself. Because I know it's stupid.
Oh, no.
Hang on. I would have hang on. Chloe Fisherman. Okay, get rid of the L-E-O. Uh-huh. It's Christine and Lemon, isn't it?
No.
Hang on.
Fisherman with an E and Chloe without the H.
I like how you had to come up. They had to get that creative.
That's an alternative spelling.
Mom? What does he call you?
What's my last name?
Is it Schieffer? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
Chloe was trapped in some sort of glass case.
This is a crime. This fucking story. Call the police.
I already did. On myself. Not only that, but Chloe wasn't a human.
Yeah, well.
She was a lemon. A beautiful, mummified lemon whose mother, the Hercene shifter, was missing her like crazy. You see.
Mm-hmm. What did Cletus do? What did Cletus the Reverend do?
Cletus Hehmz had been using his business trips to find his victims.
Oh, that's a clever spin.
Poor Eileen soon found out that nothing she knew about Cletus was true. Even his name, Cletus Hehmz, was an acronym for the M. Schultz.
Aha. Honestly, genius that you got Cletus to work.
Screamed.
Honestly, I also kind of gonna I want to scream, but I need to process it first.
I screamed.
It works. It's so
Cletus.
Does it actually is it Cletus spelled the right way too?
Cletus.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's amazing.
I was shocked.
Cletus what?
Hehmz, H-E. Well, the last name doesn't really make sense, but
with a Z.
Hehmz. Hehmz.
Whatever. Wow. The fact that you got Cletus to work is out of control.
Shocked. Because it was right after we talked about it.
It's
and
so
I had
odd.
never heard the name before. And thank God for Inga's anagram generator because
That's what I used for yours.
wow. Inga?
I literally used Inga earlier to try to figure out
Inga
Leona's
changed our lives.
Penne gnocchi or whatever. Not gnocchi. No, I know it's gnocchi.
The gnocchi.
The gnocchi. Like gnocchi is okay. What did I say earlier? Pasta
Pasta gnome?
Pasta alla
Or
gnome.
Penne alla gnome?
Penne alla gnome.
Yeah.
Fucking Inga or whatever her name is.
Inga is on it. She really is.
And it really she figures it out as names.
Like it's really
it's literally it's meant for shit that we've been doing. By the way. But I feel like you're not getting the credit you deserve. But I do.
So dumb.
You know what? I kind of had a hunch earlier
I knew you did.
because I literally said like, "Oh, we should do something.
Should we do notes?
We could do
I
something
know.
different for our notes." And you were interested in doing our notes more than winging it, and I was like, "That's not the Christine I know."
On what planet would I ever say? Let's.
I was like,
do
"She's up to something."
work.
What is Eileen? What's that one?
Okay, hang on.
Oh, okay.
I need to tell you first the fate of Cletus.
Oh God.
Cletus Hehmz was convicted of 1 count of lemon napping in the 1st degree.
Only 1 count. Amazing. I
Only-
really got off.
Only one, yeah.
But I had a plea deal or something.
To be fair, you're now imprisoned in Burbank, California with cellmate Trey Songs with an S, of course,
Obviously.
and about 24 cockroaches.
That's the hell that I deserve, obviously.
Okay, and Chloe Fisherman is Lemon Cheever. Cletus Hehmz is M. Schultz, or the M. Schultz, and Eileen Betzels.
Eileen Betzels. I was trying. Eileen Betzels.
Should I?
Is it Allison?
No,
It has to be you, but I don't know what.
it's not me.
And it's not Allison?
No.
Eileen Betzels. Betzel has a Z in it, yeah?
Yep.
Who else do I know with a fucking Zach Bagans?
Nope.
Who? Do I want to keep guessing?
Elizabeth Olsen. Your girlfriend. I'm sorry, Allison. I just had to do it.
Wow, that was actually my favorite part of the whole story. You nailed it. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's so fun. I'm trying not to scream because you have a baby, but like
So
that really,
stupid.
that was that really got me going.
And I will say, there were so many times, like, I had actually written an entire true crime story that was, like, way more disturbing. But then I was like,
that I committed.
yeah. And I was like, this is kind of not funny because it's like, oh.
I like how in your wildest fantasy, with all the creativity in the world, I'm like more fucked up than anyone
It
was.
was too far.
What was the crime?
So it was like breaking into a hotel room and kidnapping someone named Chloe Fisherman.
Oh shit. Okay, that's bad.
And it was like, oh, and I literally was Googling ways to break into hotel rooms, which, by the way, new anxieties unlocked. And so I found like, oh, like I literally had like 15 bullet points that were like, and he used a whatever generator to unlock the key card, blah, blah, blah. And she woke up to him standing at the edge of her bed. And I was like, this is
I mean,
too far.
the only reason I'm beaming is because it's not true. But
Right.
like, also go me. Like, look at the power.
For
I'm
like
always...
a fake story, I was like, to be like, just kidding. It seemed a little like,
Actually, it's you.
yeah,
You did
isn't
this.
that fun? It seemed a little too far, so I kind of had to like rewind and do like,
Oh
let's
man,
just
can you imagine if you did that and
pretend.
I also did the Leona story? Man.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. 'Cause
Oh, but I love that you made it. We did the same thing for our 30th.
once again, the day you did that, I wrote in my calendar. Let's see.
Oh, you poor thing.
I did. I wrote in my calendar.
You've had a year to think about this? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for your stress level.
No. I did that thing where I was like, hey,
I'll worry about it then.
let's pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
until 10 days ago.
Did you get like a calendar alert?
Oh, I did. Every day for the past 2 weeks, I put it in my calendar.
Home Slice, is that a fucking ladybug on your wall? Girl, what is going on? You live in the jungle.
No, what is going on?
I swear to God, Jumanji's happening.
I'm not kidding.
Girl, I've seen like at least a dozen bugs in here today.
Can I tell you, my brother and I have recorded in here 3 times.
Maybe neither of you use your eyes and I'm the one noticing things?
Maybe. But the buzzing I would have heard. Although maybe it's because it's nighttime and it's dark out.
Oh, and the lights are bringing them in?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take away from, obviously, your
No, it's not
Pulitzer Prize. No, are you kidding me? This is so nice.
Anyway.
I feel so bad that I started this episode with like, I didn't even finish.
No, because I feel like it was also that thing of like, I am going to do a story, but it's a crime, so it's a little awkward because I can't make it super dark.
Like, how do I make it funny without bumming everyone out?
Right, but I had to make it up.
But it has to be real.
So
it has to sound real.
Yeah, so it was a very weird little turn of events. But anyway.
Honestly,
Cletus, the fact that and it was not intentional by any means. And I saw Cletus and I shrieked.
I would have. I totally would have too.
Fuck.
Do you know, I was hoping for that moment with trying to. It's so funny. Did you come up with that name today?
No.
Because I was literally on the plane trying to figure out the Leona thing on that anagram website. And it would have been funny if it was happening at the same time.
Inga was like, what the fuck are you two doing?
Why are there all of a sudden 2 people on here at the same time?
These people are disturbed.
Well, like, so I wanted that moment with Leona. I was trying to find a name.
I can't believe you found Lemon. That's pretty good.
I'm surprised you haven't realized yet that Lemon is in her name.
No, I did. I even wrote it in the initial Instagram post to get ahead of it. I wrote like, yes, M has told me that it's one
I even
letter
honestly
away.
Sacrificed the name Renee. I was just looking at her first and last name. Girl, you gotta pick a different letter next time or something, because that kid has so many L's and E's in her stupid name. Like, I was like, honestly, at this, like, it was all L's, E's, and N's.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how do I make up a name like Len?
Ellen.
Just trying to make it happen. Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Okay, the other thing
What?
is that I couldn't come up with a name until I put the M. Schultz.
Of course.
So I tried M. Schultz and it was like a couple things, but I was like, it's
Not much
too
to do with 8 letters.
obvious. Yeah. So the M. Schultz really like opened up some doors for me.
Me too.
Cletus.
That's how I got that blue check. I just like put the in front of everything and look real
Yes.
official.
That is me. So anyway, I figured you would figure it out pretty quickly, which is why like
It's a short story.
2 bullets after you were like, I know what's happening. I was like,
Well, the
it
second
was
I realized,
a lemon.
also love that you. Speaking of like the psychological approach, the way that you know yourself so well. I mean, you really wrote your character.
Which is embarrassing because
You wrote your personality down in like 3 bullets, and that's everything.
Literally
I need to know.
never would have thought of that until you were like, wow, what a Christine move. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. You don't even realize how much you show.
The fact
or how
that-
much you know.
The fact that I was like, and it was awesome how she did this. And you were like, that sounds like something you would do. And I'm like, wow. So I'm just sitting here going, what an awesome protagonist. She fucking crawled into the basement like a dumbass.
Honestly, well, so for a second I did think, I was like, oh, maybe this is about me. But then you said Cletus, and I was like, how on earth would that name have gotten here? Because the only reason I thought anything was because you said like, no, we should do our notes. And I was like,
I know.
I was like, there's got to be a reason. And I was like, we're doing our birthday episode. Maybe she worked really hard on a birthday story. And then when you said it was just kind of like a random story, I was like, there's got to be something else to it. And I heard the name and I was like, oh, that's funny. And I was like, honestly, maybe it's just because Cletus. And you double tricked me out of it.
It's a good guess.
Until you brought up a character that sounded exactly like you. And then I was like, this fucking.
The third time when you were like, wow, again, it's you. I was like, all right, I got to say it's a lemon. They found a lemon.
You really, like, you outsmarted me and I gave up and I was like, oh, it's just because someone's name was Cletus and that totally works. And then I was committed to not even trying to figure it out. But you really described yourself perfectly and I was like, aha, well, that's where we are now.
Love that I'm Lizzie Olsen in this story. Good for me.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. But I will say, that was without question my favorite part of the whole story.
I will say I tried to make it the coworker, but I was like, I can't Because
No, that was
that
smart.
would be me, the coworker, but I couldn't.
That was super smart. Also, it was super smart to pick a name that wasn't you, because I would have probably tried to figure it out quicker.
I figured it was because you've done
Wow,
Herstein
Lizzie Olsen.
Shifter. You've done all the anagram. Inga has given you all the combinations.
Inga, can you sponsor us?
Inga, can we sponsor you?
Yeah, actually, hang on a second. No, man. Oh, wow. Elizabeth Olsen. See, that one I did not see coming.
Herstein Shifter and Cletus Hehmz.
So those are our names now. Someone make shirts.
What a dumb.
And then someone make a little onesie that says Penne a la Gnome or something.
The Lunar Lemon.
The Lunar Lemon. I really do love that.
That's really cute.
I was like, that could totally be a name.
Lunar Lemon.
The Lunar Lemon.
I love it.
There was just some extra letters, like half of them.
Like most.
I was like, it's not good enough. Inga, find some other words for us.
Inga, God, this is your job, Inga.
By the way, if anyone needs an anagram, you fucking check out Inga's
You
page.
check out Inga.
She worked hard.
I'm so proud that we both used Inga's page.
I'm so proud that we've both done stories about each other.
So silly.
And I like how the whole story was just me, just fucking Lemon. I knew the second I said if Lemon shows up, and then you laughed a little too hard. I was like, yeah. Okay.
And I laughed so hard, and then I was like, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? What a silly sight. You know what I did think might happen, though? In my brain on the plane, I was like, if she did a story, I wondered if you were going to revisit the America's Herstein Shifter. And you were like, the story was going to be like, I ran into the shifter and this is what happened.
And this is the
That's the sequel to this story where Lizzie Olsen like takes her mask off and it's the shifter.
dun dun dun.
We figured it out. That's part 3.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
That was
I'm
so nice. I feel so loved.
I'm so glad. I'm sorry that it was so chaotic and
That's how it's gotta
well,
be.
what are we shocked? No.
Can you imagine a clean story about us? No.
Yeah, forget it. So thank you for watching and or listening. I guess we'll do a little aftermath episode for Patreon.
Yeah.
That'll be fun of prezzies.
Oh, I really love that story. I feel like you're not getting enough praise for your
No,
hard
no,
work.
no,
That was
no.
such a good story.
It was not that good. And
What are you talking about?
and I'm trying to think of the other things I put in there that were like little homages just so you
The buffalo plaid.
the buffalo actually I added that after you
after the
figured it
fact?
out because I was like I was going to put that and I was like it's too obvious, but then once you figured it out I was like
The second you said Chloe Fisherman, I was like, I know that means something.
Chloe
That's a clue.
Fisherman.
That's a stupid
The
clue.
fact that Lemon Schieffer
Works.
turns into Chloe Fisherman with no questions asked. Inga was like, "Oh, I got you," and I was like,
Inga was like,
"Girl,
we're all gonna fuck it up together.
girl, what?" And so anyway, small town in the South. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I said like, "Oh, you share a birthday." Oh, he used to be a reverend. You know that already.
And also we it's a job that nobody can really understand.
yeah, really
'cause
understanding.
I always struggle with the podcast
His
thing.
family didn't know what he did for work.
Yeah.
I did Google podcast producer synonyms and programmer.
yeah.
Stupid.
Rhyme Zone's a good place
Rhyme
to
Zone
go.
is excellent.
Yep.
And then I said Northern California work trip. That was we found lemon in San Jose.
I didn't pick up on that.
Stupid.
Stupid.
It's so
It'd been funny as
dumb.
if you named lemon Jose. I would have literally never picked up on it.
Found in a box of tea.
I was like, oh, tea's cool.
Obviously,
It didn't even cross my mind. Speaking of tea, I keep eyeing this candle.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. I burn that every
It's
time.
Earl Grey. It's London fog smell.
Yes, I burn it every time we record together.
Oh,
Yeah, it's almost empty already.
that's so nice.
Isn't it cute?
Wow. I feel very loved.
I guess maybe I should tell you next time I do things like that.
I know, yeah.
I just
I
do
wonder
it.
if you like storm off after we record. She's like, Em didn't even fucking notice.
Em didn't
my
even
candle."
notice the scent that was filling the room.
Honestly, I'm too busy watching Squidward's brain get nailed to a wall. So.
Blaise tried, I don't know if this is in the episode, but Blaise tried to get that bug and he was like, oh, Squidward is nailed to the wall. I can't get him to move this bug.
You know, for being nailed to the wall, you did absolutely align him perfectly. I feel like he's pretty level.
Honestly, I've never appreciated a compliment more. Thank you.
What is the story with this guy?
Oh my God. That is the, let me just make sure I get the, so that is a diorama from the Civil War Tales at the Homestead Diorama Museum. And I do want to point out that Tails is spelled Tails.
Oh, wait, are these animals? Oh, they're doggies.
They're cats.
They're cats.
And I will tell you that the Civil War Tales Museum
is located in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and it is a unique museum featuring handmade miniature soldiers in dioramas of Civil War scenes.
Are you reading that off of something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, you're really selling it.
It is in Comic Sans, and all the soldiers are cats.
I feel like you're really not giving us any context into like how you discovered this.
Okay.
Like, why is it here?
Okay.
Who bought that for you? Or when did you go?
Irrelevant. No.
Did you just find it on the street? What?
My brother and I did an episode on Beachy Sandy of obscure museums.
Oh.
And so we
that makes so much more sense.
The Umbrella Museum. We did a bunch of museums.
I love the Umbrella Museum.
I'm sorry, it was not the Umbrella Museum.
Oh.
It was the Umbrella Cover Museum.
Now that
this
is something I could get into.
Is a real thing where they literally it's in Maine, of course, and it's a museum just of the covers of umbrellas.
That's so cool. Cool. That was a literal gruel moment.
It's a gruel. It's so gruel.
So gruel.
It's so gruel. And so I found this. Somebody emailed us and said like, "Oh, here's a Civil War Tales, TAILS." Mm-hmm. And so I read a few reviews of that. And so for I think it was either Christmas or my last birthday. I don't remember. I think it was my last birthday. Alexander got me this little a personalized diorama, and it's juniper and moonshine. And you get to pick if they're Confederate soldiers or Union soldiers because it's a Civil War diorama.
Okay. Fair. I don't know if that's fair.
Yeah. So they're little Union soldiers.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for, the blue, obviously, but.
Yeah. Although, wasn't Confederate blue?
Confederate was red, I thought.
Oh, maybe.
Girl, please don't do this to me on camera.
Oh my god.
Union's blue, right?
I think you're right.
If it's not.
Wasn't Confederate gray?
Confederate's gray with the shitty flag on the hat, on the helmet or something. Wow. Well, unsurprising to anyone, America failed us.
America
in the education system.
Has failed us.
Blue is Union, yeah?
Blue is Union, yes, and gray is Civil War. So I think I got thrown off. But yes, you're right. Blue is Union, and I'm right because blue is Union.
Okay.
And look, they even they put them, and Alexander was like, it was a little alarming because they sent this, and they're like, the cats are like screaming into battle. It's very alarming.
They're really going, ah!
Yeah.
Kill the racists.
So
okay.
it's a little creepy. But yeah, so
I appreciate the intricacy.
Isn't it fun? So they handmade that.
So here's why did it rattle?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So here's what we do it on, and that's why we drink officially. I would like you to do the behind the scenes of Beach Too Sandy here.
It's really chaotic.
And I gotta ask, do you what happens if you looked at obscure museums and because they're so small, what if the reviews are only bad? Were there bad reviews? Were they?
We only read bad reviews. That's the whole point.
I know, but I feel like if it's a small business,
no. So that's kind of okay.
You're still hyping them up, I guess.
No. You're getting to the nitty gritty of it, which is that we find bad reviews, but it's like the dumb ones where you're like,
okay,
oh, it's a 1-star review by a Karen figure.
Okay.
Where it's sort of like, oh, really? A 1-star review?
For a second, I was like, because these people obviously really tried.
No.
And I feel so bad for them.
Honestly, the way we frame it is always like, oh,
these are other people, not us.
99% of the time, it's like, oh, we're making fun of the reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
The joke is the people who are reviewing it in such a ridiculous way. And so we're kind of highlighting the businesses like a lot of times it'll be these have gotten old and we don't really do these anymore. And we did have a COVID special during COVID where it was mask review. We don't do that anymore because it's gotten so old.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
I got it.
But there were reviews still to this day are reviews. We just did cat cafes and there was a review where it was they are discriminating against me and my Second Amendment right. To bring a gun.
I see. That's all I needed.
And it'll say to bring a gun into this cat cafe. And you're like, wow. So it's always.
Well, someone who has their little people painted red in their living room
is
someone
exactly
who wrote that.
Right. Their cats on their horses are painted in a gray uniform.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of.
Do you have a favorite
idea?
A favorite place so far that you've covered?
Ooh.
I feel like you probably get that question all the time.
No, I never get that question, actually.
A favorite place that you actually want to visit and a favorite place with the best, worst reviews.
Wow. That's a great question.
I do feel like the obscure museums was such a gold mine because there are so. Don't be alarmed. The door behind you is opening, but I think a cat is coming in. Is a cat
Thank you.
coming? Can you turn and look?
Yeah, Juniper.
Thank God, because the door behind you.
That scared me so much more than if the door was gonna open.
Sorry, the door just started like, and I was like, if M sees that out of the corner of their eye,
I'll lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
I feel like we're already doing the bonus footage.
I know we are. I'm sorry. This is like a sneak peek. No, I don't know. I think my favorite ones are just the kind of random obscure ones. I just love the like. I think obscure museums might have been my. It's
a good topic in general. I would go on a first date and talk about that.
Right.
That's a great topic.
There were so many I also liked American Girl doll cafes. You find some weird fucking people. But yeah, I don't want to visit those. It was more like...
I do because I want to witness. I want to pull a Nandor Fodor and just stare at people.
Just do a psychological study on everybody.
Everyone at the American Girl Doll Cafe. What are you ordering? Like, what's the top sale sandwich there?
What's happening?
Like, do they name their sandwiches after the dolls? Do you have dolls sitting at the table you can eat with?
If you bring the doll...
do you get a discount?
Do you get a discount? Do they get anything? Do you get to go... If you don't have a doll? What if you're an adult? Can you go without a doll?
Oh, they're not. It's not even a restaurant that's attached to the store.
No.
Oh, that's weird. I literally thought it was like a buy your doll and then also here's a cafe.
Oh, I don't know.
Like a cafe in the store, like a Barnes and Noble.
No, they're like a full restaurant.
Oh, that's so odd.
Yeah.
First of all, it sounds like a wasted business opportunity to not also sell dolls there.
They might sell dolls as well, but I do know that like their business for the cafe is like it's a full scale restaurant. Like you bring your doll to.
We have to go. Well, you and Zandy have to go, but then second round we have to go.
No way.
Why not? I'll go and tell you about it.
You
that
and Zandy
great.
go.
Maybe that's how I loop myself into Beach 2 Sandy. Maybe I actually go to the locations after you've reported on them.
You can be our on the scene reporter.
I would love to do that.
You would be so good.
If you ever need bonus content, I'll happily fly to any location.
I think Alexander and I are too anxious to do it, and you would.
I'd happily do it.
I know.
I would have a blast at the American Girl Doll Cafe. Are you fucking kidding me?
Show up and just report back, and we'd be sitting here.
I'd be like, all the reviews were wrong. It's fucking amazing.
It's the best. And you.
I'll be the redemption episode where I just hype everything up.
You would give it everything
Honesty Hour
an A+. All the shitty reviews.
If you ever need me to get on a plane and go somewhere with an American Girl Doll sandwich, I would happily go for you. I'm not saying people should say anything about that. I'm just saying if
you think it's a good idea, why don't you write into beach2sandy@gmail.com?
I'm just saying if I'm already going to a city and you've reported on something there, I might pop by.
Why the fuck not?
I might pop by.
And why shouldn't you just address an email to beach2sandy@gmail.com and write Dear Zandy Schiefer?
I'm going to actually DM them on my verified account so they actually notice me and see what happens from there.
Whoa. Do you think that'll work?
I don't know.
I hear they're pretty picky about who they actually speak to.
Well. One of them talks to a lemon, so it can't be that hard.
Oh my God, I just peed my pants.
Is that what happens at 31? Help me.
That's what happens when you birth a child out of your dumb body.
I don't want to do that part.
No, it's I wouldn't recommend it.
Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Are you still here?
What are you doing here?
And
that's
why we celebrate our birthdays.
Happy birthday.
We're both in our 30s. I want to die.
We're so elderly.